Hello and welcome to News Morning here on Newday on TV3. My name is BECE. Coming up in the next few minutes. One person shot dead, 2 others injured over a land dispute in Ashanti region. Also on the program this morning, government announces change to school placement process, which will see candidates select their preferred senior high schools only after the release of BECE results. And much later in the program, National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO Director General, Major Retired Dr. Joseph Kuyon cautions residents against rebuilding structures within demarcated zones at Sakumono. All these and more in the next few minutes. Now, the Ministry of Education has secured financial clearance to recruit 7,000 teachers. Education Minister Haruna Idrisu has directed the Ghana Education Service to open its recruitment portal from Friday, the 10th of April, 2026.
The Education Minister, Haruna Idrisu, acknowledged ongoing challenges with teacher recruitment gaps, which continue to affect effective education delivery across the country. Current figures indicate that more than 30,000 vacancies exist nationwide. In the 2026 budget, government has allocated over 39 billion cedis to the education sector, with a portion earmarked for teacher recruitment. Based on this, the minister confirmed that financial clearance has been granted for the recruitment of 7,000 teachers.
Trainee teachers from the 2022 to 2025 should feel easy to apply for this opportunity as we continue to work. At least on or before the 1st of July, the process should be over. They should be accepted on the GES system as teachers, accordingly recognized and posted, so that we'll be able to make justification for their salaries to be paid.
Haruna Idrisu further reiterated that the recruitment portal will officially open on April 10 and close on July 1, 2026.
The GES should issue guidelines to support the recruitment process. We do not want over-subscription as is anticipated, and therefore my request would be, when your portal gets to 10,000-12,000, close the portal. The other generation can follow the next opportunity that will follow, subject to approval from the Ministry of Finance. But make it competitive, decentralized, and into other areas.
Meanwhile, the public universities are also facing a shortage of lecturers. The Education Minister disclosed that financial clearance has been granted for the recruitment of 1,200 lecturers to address the situation.
Across the tertiary institutions, including our public universities, whether it's University of Ghana, University of Cape Coast, or Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, or it's UHAS, we would allow, as the approval reflects, some recruitment of 1,200 faculty members, and that will be distributed in a communication that will be issued to them by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission.
Meanwhile, Mr. Idrisu has directed a review of the computerized school placement process for BECE candidates. He says students should not be required to complete their school selection without first knowing the examination aggregate.
Students are to begin the process of making a determination of school choice, but that process is not to be completed until the results are finally announced and determined. So in the past, we had a situation where students determine and choose schools without knowing their aggregate level, and that affected the placement system. This time, we will give a mandatory period of 1 week after the results have been declared for students to confirm on the basis of their performance in the BECE what their first choices are. Government also recognizes that alumni play a significant role today in the survival and transformation of many of our schools across the country. Accordingly, a dedicated percentage will be given to alumni for purpose of placement in the revised CSP program. I pray that this will not be abused, just like the protocol is often abused. I'm aware that last year we got protocol requests as much as 60,000. Anybody in my shoes will struggle to honor those requests.
Now, one person is reported dead with 2 others injured following a violent clash between 2 feuding parties over a parcel of land. The incident happened on Wednesday morning at Nyalewa in the Asokore-Mampo municipality. One party who reportedly purchased the land was confronted by another man who claimed ownership, leading to a gunshot attack that resulted in 1 death and left 2 others in critical condition. Police swiftly intervened to restore calm and transported the injured victims to the Menchia Government Hospital for urgent medical attention, while the suspect has since been arrested and is assisting with ongoing investigations. Someone here and the Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa has arrived in Ghana for a 3-day state visit. The visit will witness deepening bilateral cooperation between the 2 countries, whose record in championing Pan-Africanism remains unmatched. Komla Kluche has the following report.
Emmerson Mnangagwa arrived to receive a full military honors in his Boeing A6 DAX. He was received by President John Mahama, the Chief of Staff Julius Debra, and other senior government officials. The Pan-Africanist who succeeded Robert Mugabe will be hosted to a state banquet later on Wednesday night in his honor. The visit will include high-level bilateral talks between the 2 leaders. These engagements will focus on strengthening cooperation in areas such as trade, tourism, agriculture, healthcare, sanitation, and efforts to address corruption and unemployment. The 2 heads of states are also expected to witness the signing of key agreements aimed at deepening cooperation between the 2 countries. But as part of his visit, he will tour the Sweden-Ghana Medical Center and the Accra Compost and Recycling Plant. He will also visit the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park to pay homage to Ghana's first head of state, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. The visit is expected to strengthen the standing relationship between Ghana and Zimbabwe and promote closer cooperation and development. Komla Kluche, TV3 News, Jubilee Lounge, Accra International Airport.
The Auditor General has disclosed that an amount of 20 million Ghana cedis was paid as mobilization funds on December 31, 2024 under the Akufo-Addo administration for the construction of a parliamentary service hospital, despite no work being done. The contract for the project was signed by the former Minister for Health, Dr. Bernard Okuboy. Now, appearing before the Public Accounts Committee, the administrator of the District Assembly's Common Fund, Michael Yamson, explained that the project has not commenced due to a change in the proposed site from the precinct of Parliament to the national security premises.
An agreement was reached to pay 15% mobilization of about 108 million, out of which 20 million cedis was paid. We have written to Sienna Services, and they have responded on the work that was done with the 20 million. There's an outstanding on that 15% mobilization of 88 million that still is due.
And this was to build a parliamentary service hospital. Which parliament was that?
This was contracted during the 8th Parliament. The signatory to the contract on behalf of the government was Dr. Okuboy.
Who witnessed it?
The Chief Director, Alhaj Hafiz Adam.
Hey. So my question is, where is this parliamentary service hospital? Have they started the building? We've already paid 15% mobilization.
Mr. Chairman, it is my understanding from the letter received from Sienna Services that the money they received went into project design and technical planning, site assessments, consultancy services, arrangement of bonds and guarantees, and insurance. However, they also did indicate that they were asked to change the project site from the parliamentary area to the national security compound, and so the new site has not been given to them yet, and therefore work has stalled. The contract was between the Ministry of Health and the financiers. So it is actually Ministry of Health, if anything.
That has to be answering to this.
Correct, because our role was just to pay the mobilization, and we did so.
What year did you pay this 20 million?
It was paid on 31st of December 2024.
31st of December 2024.
Yes.
Was that part of your formula that was approved by Parliament?
In 2024, I believe that was not part of the formula.
So it was not part of the formula?
No, it was not part.
On what basis was DSCF? Who were those people who were there at the time that it happened?
Where is that?
Okay, so the administrator on that day was my predecessor, the Honorable Natoshi Ado, and the finance officer was Mr.
And what about the accountant?
The finance officer was Mr. George Ba.
Is he here?
No, he's not here.
So
we did write to both of them, but unfortunately, they are all not available.
Now, the Director General of the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, Major Retired Dr. Joseph Kuyon, has cautioned residents against rebuilding structures within demarcated zones at Sakumono. He says the ongoing demolition exercise in the area is set to resume and all unauthorized structures will be pulled down.
A visit by the news team to Sakumono has revealed that construction activities are still ongoing in some parts of the affected areas. A new drainage gutter is also under construction to help channel floodwaters into the sea. However, speaking to TV3 on this development, the Director General of NADMO, Joseph Kuyon, warned that any building earmarked for demolition will not be spared in the next phase of the exercise.
We went there to do demolition. We were asked to hold on a bit for people to evacuate their belongings from there. That's what I know, that I'll be going back to continue with the demolition. I have not been told about any gutter being constructed. If it was possible to construct a gutter that will solve the flooding issue, you wouldn't be talking about flooding because of the rain that happened recently, which is not even heavy rain.
Dr. Joseph Kuyon further indicated that NADMO will extend similar demolition exercises to other wetlands across the country as part of efforts to prevent flooding ahead of the rainy season.
That we will go back to Sakumono, we'll continue with the demolition there, we'll continue to preserve every Ramsar site or water body that is supposed to serve the ecosystem in the cities, and that is what we are going to do.
Sakumo and its surrounding wetlands have long been identified as flood-prone zones due to unregulated construction and encroachment on waterways. Over the years, seasonal flooding has led to the destruction of property and the displacement of residents. Authorities say the ongoing demolitions form parts of a broader national strategy to enforce planning regulations, restore natural drainage system, and reduce the impact of floods, especially during the peak rainy season. Joseph Armstrong, Good TV3, Sakumo, Accra.
And that's all for News Morning here on New Day on TV3. My name is BECE. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. Do continue with us on New Day.
I am a reconstructive plastic surgeon, and as part of my work, I manage trauma cases. The majority of these trauma cases are road traffic crashes, soft tissue injuries related. Do you know that when a car is traveling at 60 kilometers per hour on a dry surface road and attempts to brake in order to avoid a crash, it has a braking distance of 20 meters? In this crash, the car hits a pedestrian at high speed. The bumper hits the knee joint, tearing flesh, ligaments, and fracturing bone. The head smashed
Yes,
Okay.
Celebrity
When
Style
it's
Boutique.
Spinters Road, right?
Yes, within the Marina Mall on the Spinters Road.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So-
I love them.
Thank
I love
you.
them. I was nearly going to confuse them with the other one. I don't want to mention the name. Yes, my popular one.
Yes.
Celebrity Style Boutique.
Yeah.
They make you look good as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you're looking radiant. What's the
you.
secret?
You asked this on air.
Yeah.
I'm taking good care of
You're
myself.
taking good care
Yes.
of yourself. I think you drink a lot of water.
Yes, I do.
You have good skin.
Yeah,
But let me
thank
say
you.
good morning to everybody else who has joined us. And it's a great time to be a Ghanaian. And then it's also a great time also to be within these times, because you know that the ongoing crisis in the Middle East or the Gulf countries, where we have the bulk of oil coming from those areas to many parts of the world, having difficulties and affecting economies are still on, supply chain movement, etc. But of course, we're told that we tend to get a lot of our oil from Europe, the Northern American countries, etc. But we're still being affected. I did see Eduji Tamaklo, the CEO for the National Petroleum Authority, telling us the reserves that we have, and we're hoping that we'll be able to sail through. So far, we right here on TV3 Newday had been having some discussions with Donald Trump so that he eases the pressure alongside Israel and Iran so that we can have some respite, because everybody is complaining, next week and next 2 is not going to be easy. You go to the pumps, the prices are up when it comes to diesel as well as petrol, etc.
Yeah.
And then the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, as well as the other cooperatives or unions in the transport sector, are up in arms. They are going to increase the fares. They are threatening. And so we don't know what to do. So that's the concern for all of us. But Chairman Godwin Tamaklo of the Rates Group, great man. Chairman Prosper as well. Dr. Salifu Combat, National Health Insurance Authority boss for the Upper East region. And then my great friend who is the managing director for the Tema Oil Refinery, Edmond Combat. Great man. Wishing you all the best, Edmond. I know that Tor is ready to do the refining of crude, etc. You're doing some great work alongside Alhaji Mustafa, who is your deputy. But what have you been up to? What have you been up to? What are you doing for big issues?
Yes, so we'll be looking at the threats by GPRTU.
Very important.
48-hour ultimatum given the government. And this coming, it's just a few days ago that we heard the president say that if the situation persists, the government will have to take some drastic actions. But what GPRTU says, we can only give you 48 hours. So we'll look into that. And also this new, I don't want to call it directive, coming from the Education Ministry, that now if you are a junior high school student, for somebody who's written the BECE, you cannot complete your school selection process until you've seen your results. So you have to see your level first before you choose which school you have to go to.
Well, I know those ones have been some of the propositions.
Yeah.
But so if we have mass failures, it means that I don't know. Well, let's see how that one will go as well. But what I do know is that we've always selected schools awaiting the results.
Yes,
That's what we've done traditionally as well.
But I think it's caused a lot of problems. People thinking that they are good students, and their results come and what they get don't fit what the schools
that they
require.
want to go
Exactly.
to. Yeah.
So, well, like you said, let's see how that goes. And hopefully it's able to ease the pressure and deal with some of the stresses on this front. Yeah.
Well, we'll see how that goes, because we need to also take a real look at the structure of education in our country. But so we'll generally take a look at it as well. Let me say good morning to Pai Fiank, who is the finance boss for Engineers and Planners. And Engineers and Planners, we have the business mogul Ibrahim Mahama, who is leading that as well. His chief driver is Haji Nuruddin, Rafik, and everybody else there. Good morning to all of you for some great work you keep doing. But we have cash out this morning. Go to Shoko star 439# as many times as you can. Please make sure you join us. We are having an Easter jackpot this Friday.
30,000 Ghana cedis.
Yeah, Beatrice and the rest of the team who will be on Friday will be giving you great insight into the jackpot. It's 30,000.
Yes, 30,000. We'll let you know how we're going to share this amount on Friday, and you have to trust us that we will bring you the best. It's number 8 on the app, so you still dial *439# and you select option 8, which is MG jackpot, and you get the chance of winning any part of the 30,000. Imagine getting 10,000. Another person getting 5,000. I mean, it's going to be sweet on Friday.
I'm telling you. Yes. I love that. It's going to be what?
Sweet on Friday. A birthday pa. Wake up on Easter Friday to a great Yes. So you have to keep playing. But today we're giving the usual 10,000 Ghana cedis to 10 of you. Keep playing and you get the chance of at least getting 1,000 out of the 10,000. So
let me speak. Let me let you simulate or try to rhyme this morning.
Okay.
Fide agba eviviga.
Fide agba eviviga.
Fide agba.
Eviviga. What does that mean?
This Friday is going to be sweet.
Oh, no. Yeah. So Fida is Friday.
Yeah, Fida.
That's
so
almost like a can.
Yes, you know, most of the languages.
Wow. Okay, that's nice.
Joda.
But you have to teach me Eba. I like the language.
Joda.
Yes.
Joda.
So even Eba is Joda in Joda. As in Monday.
Joda, yes.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, nice.
Fantastic. Kuda is Ukuada.
Oh, wow. It's not too different.
Yauda.
Wow, it's really not too different.
No, it's not too different. So the languages are not too close, but a bit close. It depends on which of them.
Oh, that's nice.
But,
so which part of the Volta regions ever is this one?
No, this I think mostly spoken from Tong Anglo and then as well, almost the same.
Oh, nice. I told you the story of how I went to Hohoi and I wanted to learn the language, like everything. I just so loved it.
You're good at language because you're a great French speaker.
Yeah.
And so that's a good thing about
I'd love to learn it.
Can we ask that question about what GPRTU and others intend doing?
Yes.
And then also, because they are calling for some taxes to be removed, just like you reiterated.
Yes.
So we can ask viewers what they think about it with the Middle East crisis ongoing, affecting oil prices and the commodities, etc. And then what they think about those calls for reduction of those taxes so that it could have an effect on how much the fares could be increased. You know, people will be going for Easter. Kwewu people. And then also in the Volta region, they tend to celebrate it as well.
Yeah, and even the kind of goods, yesterday, as you monitored, we were looking at the diesel price, for instance, from 14.35, I believe, to now 17.10. And the fact that a lot of the trucks that bring in some of the things we need are the ones that use diesel. So you can imagine the rippling effect on the goods that we buy eventually. So, yes, you can call in and share your thoughts with us.
Fantastic. For our This Morning segment.
Yes, welcome to the This Morning
So
segment.
we'll be on the other side of the studio welcoming you and asking you those questions. What you make of the GPRTU conversations about advocating for removal of some taxes on petroleum products, but more so their intention to increase the fares. And you know, once transport fares are increased, it also means that subsequently we're going to have a number of ripple effects on some goods and services. You know, the bad thing is that they never tend to reduce the prices, most of the other fares here.
Yes.
So we'll be on the other side next for our This Morning segment.
To enjoy some of the lowest fuel prices in a long time. Unfortunately, they say man proposes, God disposes. I don't know what came into the heads of Trump, Netanyahu, and all of them to start this war. If this had happened when the cedi was at 17, we probably could not have been able to survive. The push factor is coming from the price of crude oil and finished products.
And President John Mahama there giving us updates, really expressing his concern about the situation happening in Iran and the neighboring countries. And of course, the global effect it is having on fuel prices.
Exactly.
And now this came in, and shortly after that, we've had the GPRTU, like we were saying this morning, coming in to say, well, we can only give you 48 hours, scrap some taxes, or expect us to increase transport fares across all our networks. And Yeah, a number of people expressing concern already about
mixed
that.
reactions
Yes,
so far.
yes.
Yeah, and I think that it's very important that we take those into consideration, because elsewhere in the world, the living conditions have been quite bad, hit hard, and it also means that we cannot escape that.
Yeah.
And once Iran keeps pounding the other Arabian countries, as well as US and Israeli allies within the region, subsequently we also have to face it. We've been able to weather the storm so far over the last couple of weeks. I don't think we can go more than 2 weeks with that as well.
Yeah.
And the prices have to correspond, because, you do the supplies,
Yeah.
and then the shipment will have to come in. So you need to make sure you collect the right prices from consumers, etc. But the phone lines are open. Please make sure you join us for this conversation as a preface. We all know what the situation is around the world, but what do you make of it? So if transport fares are increased, what are the consequential effects on you as an ordinary viewer of TV3 Newday, and then as a Ghanaian as well? And critically, as you go celebrate the Easter, please also have that in mind, that you make some savings so that you can incrementally add some more money on your fuel prices when you come back.
That's a good advice, yes.
Yeah, because it's a long holiday. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. And
no, but I don't expect that. This is, Roland, this is the price for this window. It's not going to change
on Tuesday. It's every 2 weeks.
But it's not going to change
But the war is
Tuesday.
not ending tomorrow. So once it's going to continue for the next week, or 2 weeks. It means that
it's better for
after
people
2
to
weeks,
prepare.
we're going to have an increment again.
Yeah.
And it's sure. So in some other places, they are rationing. Also in some states in India, Sri Lanka, and some of those places, they are rationing. People are working from home, etc., so that they don't tend to spend more on fuel, and so they won't be complaining that much. But what do you make of this as well? So make sure you join us. We have an Easter jackpot on Friday when it comes to cash out. So I see many of you are dialing option 8, not now, Friday. Now you just have to choose option 2 today.
Yeah.
And Beatrice, I'm told we have a caller.
Yes, we do. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us on this morning segment on Newday on TV3. Please tell us your name, where you're calling us from. Hello? Hello? Good morning. You sound very far away from your phone. If you would kindly get a bit closer and speak up for us so we can hear you.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Please tell us your name, where you're calling us from. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, Beatrice.
Yes, sir.
Beatrice, how are you?
Hey. Oh, Alhaji.
Alhaji Benedict Bashele.
Very well, thank
Roland.
you.
Yes, sir. How are you?
That's right.
Tepia Wula.
Nah, take this here.
Gambian.
Do you know Shamima understand our language more than you?
Oh, she does. I thought she's not a Dagbani.
Oh, she understands the Ghana language more than you.
Okay, then it means I have to pick up my steps and then try to learn the language better. I will come to you in Savalogo. Speak to Beatrice.
Okay. So, I had Mama listen and they listen to you always. Let me send my blessing to Shamima, and he has a large Alasan and chairman for so of my municipal chief executive in Alasan Bagama, my constituency chairman, Alaji Sasa, and Nazu Pones, and entirely. You see, Roland, when you look about the fuel prices, GPRTU say they should remove some taxes. If no, so they will come to increase the prices. I don't know. GPRTU, they have always want to increase the prices, transport fare. You see, when the fuel prices reduce drastically, and they don't want to reduce the prices for the people to benefit. So, Excellency John Dramani Mahama is a listening president. He will listen to what they say, but sometimes they will increase it before, and they came to say in public, and they are ready to increase it. So, Sabrugo to Tamale, do you know how much they take? 12 Ghana cedis. 12 Ghana cedis. When they reduced the price, they did not petrol price reduce. They did not reduce the price. So we need to look about this and enforce the law. People will follow the right process. Because of the Iran and Israel war joining about America, these people, they need to stop this war. If not so, they will create program for the country, a lot of countries, and they will cause program for us. So let's pray for the country. Things will continue going well for us. May God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Great Dr. Ube for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alhaji, for calling in, and God bless you too.
Today he sounds very audible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gotten a new phone or something.
We should have asked him before he got off the line.
I think so.
Well, we have another caller on the line. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Please tell us your name, where you're calling us from. Hello? Hello? I can actually hear him very faintly. Sir, if you would kindly speak up so we can hear you.
So, Donald Trump, at least we have to get in so that they stop the war, at least. Secondly, we have to tell GPRTU to at least they should after the Easter, they can increase the lorry fare. We beg them, they should give us some time so that we celebrate our Easter in peace. And thirdly, I want to say the bonanza, the Star 439 the telephone is not working. It has been long. Anytime we try, it doesn't go through. So I don't know whether there's a problem too. So please try and check for us. And lastly, I want to wish Star Paulina Fenyo Badabo a happy birthday, long life and good health. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We didn't hear your name and where you called us from.
I said my name is Mensa from Akachi Monenu.
Hey, that's my good brother. How are you?
I'm fine.
He was 60 years last week. Was it?
Yes, I'm now a pensioner. The latest pensioner in town.
No, very well, very well. Thank you. And then today too is the birthday of our good sister Paulina Badagbo. So
yes,
try and wish
her. Paulina Badagbo's birthday today.
All right.
So I wish her a happy birthday, long life.
Okay, and everybody else in Akachi, we say well wishes to you and happy Easter as well.
Yeah, thank you. Greetings to our MC, Mr. Daniel Dagba from Akachi Monenu. Yeah, all the best. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mensa, for calling in, and a happy birthday to all your loved ones, as you've mentioned. We do have another call on the line from Sakumono. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Please tell us, share your thoughts with us. Hello? Hello? Looks like we have a problem with that line, but whilst we try to... Hello?
Abu from Sekendi.
Okay.
Oh, from Sekendi.
From Sekendi, okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Abu from Sekendi, yeah.
Yes.
How are you, my sister? And Roland, how are you?
Doing very well, thank you.
Charlie, in Portugal here.
I think now very difficult to get TV3. Your line so very hot.
Yes.
Very hot.
Because we're the best station in Ghana, so we all have to make sure that we get through.
I use the opportunity to beat my regional minister and the incoming regional chairman Bolu. And I use the opportunity to take the ECMA, SPMA for ECMA. The guy is doing wonderful work in Western region here. I think he needs promotion. Yeah, inshallah, may Allah protect me. All the NDC members, may Allah protect them. Because very easy. It's not easy at all to handle this horrible economy in another Baunia, therefore His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and be able to turn it around recently, and then America, Israel, bring their satanic investment to serve the whole world. I think we have to pray very hard to go to get that very soon, and then we're happy. Everybody will be happy. And then my advice for GPRTU, please, I'm begging them. When the fuel price dropped, almost 9 cities per liter, we told them to reduce the price. They say it's because of the spare parts. But we have seen the spare parts, the dollar have dropped down drastically. So I don't see why. I think the government have to take very step bold to import more buses. To increase the government the transport distance, so that it will become so easy not to use the GPRTU. We should not sit down to allow the GPRTU to use their monopoly to serve the ordinary Ghanaians. Because imagine somebody who is working earning like 1,000 Ghana a month or 700 Ghana a month, and you want to increase this, prices of this in the transportation. How that person is going to do? So I think we have to manage ourselves a little bit small because they already destroyed the economy. MPP and the Baunia, they already destroyed the economy. We are now, catching up. So we all together, we can build this better Ghana for future children coming. So to stop this kind of jandam that we are doing, and we are begging them. Yeah, it's like the whole world. The whole world. We have never seen anybody increasing the transport fare somewhere in other countries. So they should come down a little and then let's pray to the government so that things will take so calm, very easy for everybody so that we all enjoy this very beautiful country. We are enjoying. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling us from Sekondi and for sharing those thoughts with us. Daniel joins us from Accra. Good morning to you, Daniel. Thank you for joining us. Please, which part of Accra are you calling us from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Botiano.
Ashaiman. Okay.
No, Botiano.
Botiano. Okay, Botiano. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So what I want to say is that this GPRTU, what they're doing is not good. I remember way back when fuel was 17 Ghana cedis, they increased the fare. When John Mahama came in, they reduced the price. That was 2015 and 2025. These people didn't want to reduce it, and it's even sometimes some of them reduce it with a little margin. Okay, but right now that the price hits somewhere 15 cedis plus, you still want to increase it. It's not fair. And the funny thing is that look at what they're doing. Now, if you send your child to go to school, if your child is schooling maybe in town, the money you're going to give to your child will not be enough for the child because these drivers load at many pieces. As when someone loading from Kaswa, they're going to load from Kaswa to Barrier. They're going to say, oh, Barrier. Well, when the child sits in that car, when they get to Barrier, maybe your child is going to Spot Commission. When they get to Barrier, they start again. Malam dancing. When they get to Malam dancing, they then continue from Malam dancing to Odoko. Then they start Odoko. When they get to Odoko, before they start loading connection. So even if you send your child going to school, if your child is going to school, and you are not being careful, the child cannot even come back home. And in the evening, they continue doing the same thing. So what the transport minister doing? And this thing has persisted. Talking about from Castle State, Amasaman, Bukwasi, from Tema, everywhere, the drivers are doing the same thing. Sometimes they pretend that they are going to cycle. They start loading cycle street. And this thing people want, the government they want to increase fuel prices first. It's not fair. Okay, this is a situation that we are all encountering. So they can just also abide by this for them to also understand that, okay, this is a situation not from the government. So they need to exercise patience. It's not good.
Thank you so much.
Look at what they're doing now. I'm being surprised we have a transport minister. I remember some time ago when the fuel came somewhere 12 Ghana, 13 Ghana cedis, and they were saying that we have to increase it. Forgotten that when the fuel was 17 Ghana cedis that they were supposed to reduce it. The margin was something small, very scanty. But right now they want to increase it again. What kind of country are we in? And someone who calls himself a news editor, I remember he was saying something on TV3 also, saying that the government don't have any authority to regulate GPRTU because I bought my own private my car and I'm using it for transport. You can't come and regulate me and all that. Forgotten, it's a country. Okay, it's a country. Right now, whenever there's a fuel reduction, it affects all the four companies. It affects all of them. It doesn't matter whether the person bought the fuel yesterday or 3 days ago. No. When the fuel reduction, it affects them. When there's an increment, it affects them. You can't say that and they just increase it and I have to wait. The minister has to do something about it. And please, they have to make sure that GPRTU is not going to increase any fare. It's not going to happen. So thank you so much.
Thank you to Daniel calling us from Botiano. You know, I'm quite intrigued that he talks about the loading from Kaswa to this place, you know, charging so many amounts of money, so much just for you to get to your final destination. I thought in December and January, when we were discussing the supposed artificial scarcity of vehicles and the exploitation of passengers, we talked about that and we heard some officials saying they were going to deal with the exploitation of passengers by these drivers. So if this is still going on, then it's a problem.
Well, once the public transportation system is in the hands of people who are in the private sector, then that decision certainly will have to be, because you cannot regulate them in a way that we expect them to behave, you know. Well,
Sani joins us on the line. Hi, Sani. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Please share your thoughts with us today. Very well, thank you. How are you too?
I'm fine too, madam. Okay, so this is Sani from Wale Wale.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I want to greet you and then Roland, and then wish you happy Easter in advance.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So, yes, I want to appeal to His Excellency President Mahama. I know he's a listening president, that he should heed to the call by the GPRTU. In fact, to take the 1 Ghana cedi tax on the liter of fuel that we buy. I think that this time around, I'm tempted to go their side because I have a friend and then a brother who is into this transport business. And in fact, they even find it very difficult this time around to make even, to even break even. Do you understand? Not even, they're not even talking of profit to even break it even, because the prices keep on, increasing daily. They don't even wait for the window. The price keep on increasing, the fuel prices. So they find it very, very difficult. So you should try and do something. I think the one city, he has control over it. There are some of the build up of the cost that he cannot touch. But this one city, they can take it away. So that later on, if it is better, then we'll bring it back. I think Ghanaians were reasonable people. But if he says that, if the time is up, if the time is necessary, for me, the time is up. It's very, very necessary that they take it away. And then I also want to commend the education minister. In fact, he's doing well. I think he's one of the best ministers in this government. Do you know that he's going to recruit 7,000 teachers? 7,000 teachers across the country. I think that is welcoming, especially when we have about 4 badges that are still sitting in the house. Okay, from 2022, 2023, 2024, even up to 2025. They are there. Meanwhile, we have a shortage of teachers. Okay, about 30,000 vacancies in our school. Yet there are no teachers to go and then take up that role. So I think it's welcoming. And then I want to question why the previous government failed to recruit these people. Because 2022, 2023, 2024, it all happened under NPP time. So why is it that they failed to recruit these teachers? And then yet they want to blame this government that they are not taking, they are not employing and all that. I think that is my worry. And then I want to also appeal to the minister. Look, we campaign against licensure exam, but it's still in practice. They should make sure that they abolish that licensure exam that is crippling the teachers to go into the classrooms. They can make sure that they do that course. It should be part of the course outline so that the students will do it in the schools. So when they finish, they don't just go straight to the classes. I think that is one of the reasons why they are not being posted to the school. So if it is done, I believe it will go a long way to make sure that they are deployed to our schools. I want to greet my MCE for Wale Wale and then the former regional minister, Abdullah Abubakar, and to appeal to President Mahama that, look, he suffered for NDC. Up now, he doesn't have any work doing. He's sitting in the house, and he is the backbone for NDC in Wale Wale.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sani from Wale Wale. I think we need to pick one more call. And good morning to you, please. Idrisu.
Good morning.
Yes, please. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Tamale. My name is Idrisu.
Yes, Idrisu. Please share your thoughts with us today.
Let me first of all use this opportunity to say good morning to TV3, especially Roland and my sister, BECE.
Thank you. Good morning.
You are doing a very good job. And again, I'll use the opportunity to thank my MP, Senator Alajala Tansurini, and the chairman, Alajala Baum. They are doing well in the constituency. But coming to the real issue that ought to do with BECE and Ghanaians as whole, I want to use this opportunity to passionately appeal to the leadership of BECE. It appears the politics in their sector is too much. Whether you like it or not, It is pure politics. There is no bargaining about it. It is pure politics. When this administration take over, remember the fuel price keep on going down consistently. These people refuse to reduce their fares. We all know the circumstances that led to the increase of the fuel prices. Today they are coming out that they are going to increase the prices. Why don't you have sympathy on the country? Don't you have sympathy on ordinary people on the street? So if their aim is to make money, so you don't fear God again. I want to know, why are you behaving this way? Is it that if you are private sector, you do whatever you like? Okay. We are all human beings in this country. We all have our work to do. I'm also a self-employed. I'm doing my work. So that doesn't take the issues as we also go in this market. Okay. Is that how we should govern the country? But all these things, I want to appeal to the government. Because now that the GPRTU is behaving like the prisoner goes in the market, government should take over the sector. If not, I'm telling you, one day when these people will crash the country. Because the behavior they are telling to us is too much. Government ought to come in. I mean, initiative more transport sectors like or if government cannot do that, it should resort maximum so that we can take over the transport sector. Then we'll see how they are going to compete. Because government gives you opportunities because you also make little money from that. But if now you are going to take that opportunity to punish the good people of this country, then government ought to abandon the opportunity given to them and introduce government-owned transport sector that will cushion the people of this country, and so that we will get out of these people that are using politics to support the country for us. You know the circumstances. Why are you laughing? But when the things go on, you say no, when you were increasing previous time, you are telling us that you are increasing because the fuel price is going up. When the fuel price is down, you are bringing spare parts. But initially, that was not the conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me use this opportunity to thank, to greet my boss, Alaji Salam. Anytime boss.
Thank you very much, Idris, for calling us from Tamale.
Beatrice, it's always interesting because even this is generating a lot of misreactions, and the comments also are very incisive as it is. For example, we have this one from Abdul Manan. Good morning to you. Again, texting us from Tamale. Good morning to you. Says that the GPRTU are always quick to increase transport fares anytime there are fuel price increment, but always biased and reluctant to reduce fares when there's a reduction in fuel, as well as when we have a reduction or the appreciation of the Ghana cedi against the US dollar.
It seems to be the same message running through a number of people who are commenting on this.
But Sherry Giovanni, is called Samuel by first name, says that the GPRTU's calls for the increment is justified by threatening to increase the transport fares, and their demand is also justified, you know. So the conversation then is, if this is what the advocacy is, what really are the task components that the GPRT is advocating need to be taken a real look at by government, so to speak? And so we'll take you through a number of them, because already we have, if you look at the price build up when it comes to fuel, we have the Energy Debt Recovery Levy, ESLA, as we'll call it. And then we have the Road Fund Levy as well, the Energy Fund Levy, the Price Stabilization and Recovery Levy, the Sanitation and Pollution Levy, or tax as you call it, and then the Energy Sector Recovery Levy as well. Now you do the next component, you find the Special Petroleum Tax, also as part of the tax build-up, the primary distribution margin, the BOS margins also as well, the fuel market margin, and then the marketers margin, and then for retailers, operators, they also have their margins as well. So basically, these are the components of the taxes that we tend to have. But the conversation really is, what is government going to do about this? Because, Beatrice, government really, you also have a conversation with economists. They will tell you, that they find themselves in a catch-22 situation or between a rock and a hard place and a deep blue sea. You need the revenues to be able to finance the budget for the year because, mind you, you also have to go into the domestic market, issue out T-bills, etc., and then try to augment or complement the expenditure for the budgetary year. At the end of the day, if you also do the reduction, it also means that you have to ask your question, where are you going to get the revenues from? You know, and then how do you keep financing the costs?
And clearing the debts you still have on your hands.
Of the importation. So we need to also take a look at that mix in themselves and then ask the questions, what do we need to do as citizens? Citizens also by way of expenditure would also mean that what they earn is what they have to use in financing or purchasing fuel, you know. So in other countries, Beatrice, what they're doing is there's advisory from various government institutions that reduce expenditure, and then the components about the behavior of how you spend your money on fuel, you take public transport, etc. But the reality is also that at the end of the day, when we have transport fares increasing, what we've seen in our market and the marketplace is that it affects everything else, and government has no control. So what do you do? You know, and I don't know what our behavior pattern would be like. All of us who tend to buy fuel at the pumps, etc. So we'll see how we go with that as well. But again, Beatrice, we have the energy debt recovery levy, the road fund levy, the energy fund levy as well, the price stabilization recovery levy. The sanitation one is also there.
Yes.
And then when you come back to the next component of the taxes, Beatrice says, what do you do? Which one do you touch? Which one do you go to Parliament and say that I want to have an adjustment made
at
in
least
the mix? Because the current one also has a boss margins, etc.
Yes, with the calls that have come in so far, they seem to give the impression that they would be grateful if the 1 cedi levy was suspended temporarily.
Yeah, the 1 cedi per litre.
Yes, was suspended. But again, yes, it's a difficult, like you said, a difficult place the government finds itself in. But I did say earlier that we heard the president less than a week ago equally expressing his worry about this and the fact that if this persists, then the government will have to take some drastic action. But, well, GPRTU is only given 48 hours. So what time is good for the government to take that drastic action, and what could that be? Just so it's a win-win situation for the government that needs to deal with debt and deal with other stuff, but also the citizens who would equally feel cushioned in this very difficult moment.
Okay, well, I don't know.
That's why there are consultations that ought to be done, just so the best idea comes forth and we're able to deal with the situation at hand. Yes.
Iraq, the Iran-Israeli as well as the American war has taken a toll on many people in many respects as well in many countries. So you take a look at what the news has been in India, in some of the states in there, there's some level of rationing. Even in some of those countries as well, we have queues at various what we call filling stations, but fuel stations or outlets as well. And then we've had some increment in some countries. So, for example, we have some of our viewers who tend to watch us from the respective countries. For Prince Nani Ayok, for example, lives in the UK, Beatrice, and also a regular texter and interactor with us, and says that the GPRTU will tell us that spare parts prices also forms parts of the reasons why they are doing that, and they want to maintain the same price when it comes to increments. And he also says that the prices in the UK have also increased as well, and so it's a difficulty for consumers because the consumers, like all of us, we want to the reduction. At the same time, the government says that we'll do something to mitigate it, but we also need to collect these taxes because we have to meet our target.
But you know, this time around, aside from the spare parts, the GPRT is also talking about deteriorating roads. It's part of the things they said, which is damaging their vehicles, meaning they are spending a lot more money repairing their cars. And so it's one of the justifiable reasons they feel that the government has to come in to deal with the situation, or they have to increase prices. But I think we do have Abdul on the line. Abdul, good morning to you. Please tell us where you're calling us from. Abdul Rahman, I believe.
This is Mr. Brahman from Yindi, Noro region.
Yes, sir.
Popular known as Mr. Morgan.
Mr. Morgan, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Please.
I'm taking this opportunity to greet my constituency chairman, like Baba Ghazale, and his executive, constituency executive. I'm also extending my greetings to Honorable Faruk Ali Muhammad. It's a former MP for Yindi constituency. In fact, he has done a lot for the constituency. We still need him to come back and continue the good work of the Yindi constituency. And please, we are telling the government to come to our aid and then support the guardians to also enjoy his government. It's not that the way things are going, the government is not looking at it. That madam, we are appealing to him, John Draman Mama, to come to our aid to reduce the fuel and then the water bill and then the electricity bill.
Oh, what kind of electricity bills have already been reduced?
We are in the villages, so we are suffering. So we don't have money, and the way things are. The way the government puts it on us, in fact, we are suffering. We are suffering. So we are appealing for him to come to our aid to reduce the water, the utility bills and other things, madam. I also stand here to greet Alhaji Hamza Yaku. It's a Tamale. It's looking for Tamale Central Communication Director. Alhaji Yakubu Hamza, my greeting is going to him. We are praying for him that God should lead him through to come as our communication director at Tamale Central. Madam, I also stand here and greet our overlord of Jagbang.
Thank you. Thank you.
My greeting is going to him.
Thank you. Abdul Rahman, he says he's popularly known as Mr. Morgan, calling us from Yendi, I believe. Thank you very much for calling in. But let me remind you that both water and electricity tariffs have been reduced. I think they took effect from yesterday. And so just by way of information, but a number of you sending us your messages, I'll just read a few of them. From Mr. Simon Yangwa says, as for the GPRTU, no one can trust them. Always capitalizing on every situation. Even when the city gains strength and inflation goes down, GPRTU justifies high fares on the cost of vehicle parts. Shame on them. Good morning to you and Roland Simon Yen. Thank you very much sending us your message from Wa. Aziz Donla also Wa says GPRTU must stop this unnecessary threat because when there was massive reduction, they were reluctant in reducing fares. Kindly permit me to wish my political mentor, Professor Sharik Lead, economic advisor to the Vice President, a happy new month for his incredible, inspiring and innovative way of working for the youth of the country. Perhaps I can read one more.
Please do. You're allowed. I'm allowing you. That's just in jest.
Yes. So this is from Master Planner Junior, policy analyst, your friend Kintampo.
Yeah. He said he was on the line and we didn't. It's not deliberate, and because he's one of our regular contributors.
But it's been a while since he got through, though.
Is that so?
Yes. He's been
today he said he went through and then he said we cut the line.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
not too sure that's.
So let me read your message then. It says the government cannot regulate the prices of lorry fares in this country. What it can do is to remove the taxes on fuel components, which contribute about 35 to 40% of fueling price. It is not true that four batches of teachers are home. Sani should get his facts right. It's only 2 batches, 2025 and 2026. Well, we'll have to check that.
Well, I have this one from Sonny Kwashi before we tell you about Peg biscuits and the various flavors they have. Sonny Kwashi, good morning to you. Been a while, my good friend. Says that what then happened to the huge profit the members of the GPRTU made when the fuel prices were pegged at 10 cedis, 50 pesos, and we're respecting this GPRT too much, but the point is that they're private players, and so what can you do?
We just need to develop our transport system and then we'll be able to get things better, I believe.
Dr. Salifu Combat says that he's watching this morning and says that and that we're doing some great work. Dr. Salifu Combat of the National Health Insurance Authority, Upper East Region, good morning to you. Somebody also is sending a message, says that there's been breaking news that Burkina Faso has lifted a ban on fresh tomato exports to Ghana after talks between both countries. We'll see how that goes. We'll fact check that, and then we'll get back to you. Andy Edemagle, great guy. Bobo, good morning to you. And it says that the only way is revamping the public transport sector. We're hoping that that could be done, but we need to have a public buses, a good public transport system.
Yes, we need to just develop the transport system, our train system, because now we're depending a lot more on the bus. Can we even think about trams? Trams, it would be
You've
great.
lived in Europe, so I think you're used to that as well.
Using both, the same road that buses are using, it would be great. It would deal with a lot of stuff.
But it will also mean that we need to reconstruct our roads to make way for them. The last one, before we tell you about how you pack up your day, is coming from Kotuka Courage, who lives in Angloga Lashibi, and I know that Easter on the Angloga Road will be a big one.
Lashibi in Accra?
No, there's a place in Angloga called Lashibi. So it's going to be a buzzing Easter this period. All those will be going to Kwewu and the Volta region where they celebrate Easter bigly. Now it's become even almost like a national celebration. I'm in town. So he says that regarding GPRTU, we do not expect them to be talking about increasing transport fare. What was the fare before the NDC came to power and the fare was reduced up to 10 Ghana cedi, yet they refused to reduce the transport fares. You're talking about fuel prices, all right? And that'll be it for now. We have a call. BT Slyles also sent a message as well. So we'll take cognizance of all that. But tell us about Pack Up Your Day.
Because you can pack up your day the Milky Way with the rich, smooth taste of Peck Milk shortcake. It is pure delight. And of course, it comes in many flavors. There's choco-filled cookie. There's also coconut cookies and different other flavors. There's butter cookies. So you just go to any shop near you and grab one. You can take it for breakfast, or if you, between breakfast and lunch, any time of the day, just to ensure that you're getting the best ingredients you need to give you the energy and also filling yourself as well. You're still here on Newday on TV3. When we come back, we'll bring you the big issue plus some more. Just stay with us.
Oh, yes, you. And something sweet is waiting for you. Imagine waking up
beginning to enjoy some of the lowest fuel prices in a long time. Unfortunately, they say man proposes, God disposes. I don't know what came into the heads of Trump, Netanyahu, and all of them to start this war. If this had happened when the cedi was at 17, we probably could not have been able to survive. The push factor is coming from the price of crude oil and finished product.
If you look at the numbers, and I'm just, we have one carrying 43,000 metric ton. We have another one doing 37,000 metric ton. We have another one doing 30,000 metric ton. We have another one doing 27,000 metric ton. We have 10,000 metric ton and 10,000 metric ton. So if you put all of these together, and these are vessels at anchorage as at the 30th of March 2026. And that's very significant. And this is outside the 7 and 6 weeks cover that I've already given you the indication. What we have also confirmed that from 31st March, that's tomorrow, to the 9th of April, we have one that will be doing 42,000 metric ton. Another one will be doing 42,000 metric ton. Another one is doing 42,000 metric ton. So we have 3 vessels for AGO only, 42, 42, 42, 3 from now to the 9th of April. That's huge. Now for petrol, from now to the 9th of, that from 31st to 9th of June, we have 37,000 metric ton, 37,000 metric ton, 37,000 metric ton. That makes the 6 vessels.
And you're still here on New Day on TV3. Welcome to The Big Issue. This morning, we're still going to look into the fuel price hikes and the threat from the GPRTU. I said yesterday, giving the government just 48 hours for taxes on petroleum products to be removed, just so they are also able to stay in business. Otherwise, the threat is that members would have to increase transportation fares, and we want to look into that. You already watched President Mahama admitting the difficulty the country is facing because of this Iran-Israel, of course, Israel war and US war, and also Idrisi Tamaklo explaining to us some of the components and really the situation we have at hand. If time permits us, we'll also go into the new directive, as it were, coming from the Education Ministry, saying that now for BECE candidates, they cannot choose senior high schools to go to until they have seen their results. That is when they can proceed to select schools that they want to go to continue with the education. I do have on the panel with me Madam Ajua Ejapoma Anson, Deputy CEO, Ghana Digital Centres. Good morning to you, ma'am. It's great to have you here. I also do have with us our regular panel member, Madam Rosalini Murayana, Public Interest Advocate. Good morning to you as well.
Beatrice.
Thank you for joining us today.
It's always good to be here.
Yes, and we have Hajia Gloria Menu, National Women's Organizer for the United Party. You've not been here in a while. You're welcome back.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us. Perhaps I can start with you, Madam Ejapoma. A number of questions people are asking. What's your thoughts on the GPRTU's decision to give the government a 48-hour ultimatum to remove taxes? Their concentration has been on the 1 cedi levy on a litre of fuel. Just 48 hours, or members will be asked to increase transport fares?
Okay, first of all, I would like to say good morning to your viewers. So with regards to the fuel increase, the price increase in fuel, first I'd like to say that as Ghanaians, and as it has been my argument even before we came into power, we all buy fuel. When we go to the fuel pump, I do not show my political party card to buy fuel. And as you might all be aware, even as a government appointee, I do not get fuel. So yesterday I bought fuel. I drive a Toyota Corolla. Even as a government appointee, And I used to buy 400 cedis to fill my tank, or 450, 500. My tank is full. But yesterday when I bought, it wasn't full. So just to let our viewers know that we also feel the impact of the increments in the fuel prices. And we are very much aware that when fuel prices increase, it's kind of touch almost every product. And so we are aware of what is happening. However, I'd like to state that if you would, many people would agree with me that when it comes to bringing relief to the people of Ghana, the NDC is a political party that tries so hard to bring some sort of relief to its people. We haven't been in power for too long. It hasn't been even 2 years. But if you look at some of the things we have rolled out, when we came, we met some nuisance taxes. We promised that we were going to remove those taxes. All of this was in the bid to kind of bring relief to Ghanaians where, you know, we can do so. And so we saw the abolition of the e-levy tax. We saw the abolition of the COVID-19 tax. We saw the abolition of the Burton tax, the emission levy tax, even some import waivers on vehicles and equipment that is going to be used for industrial and agricultural purposes. So that is what we do as a political party, trying to bring relief. However, in this situation, and of course, I have also heard the arguments about the price hike and the issue of the impact of international events happening. We are all aware of what is happening, the tension that is rising in the Middle East. Our argument has been that, yes, sometimes international events can affect us, affect our economy, price hikes and prices in the country. However, when the government of the day does not do what it's supposed to do with regards to the other components that feeds into the pricing regime of whatever component, whatever products we are talking about, that inability to, you know, hold the economy tight further exacerbates the impact that it has on Ghana. We all can agree that when it comes to the economy, the NDC has done a great job. Before we started the program, there was a video of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama asking, imagine that the cedi was at 17 cedis and we were starting and there was this
dollar.
17 per dollar, and this Middle East tension has just occurred. What are we going to do? And let's not forget that the Russia-Ukraine war is still ongoing. And even in the past, we have said that, yes, there is some impact of the Russia-Ukraine war, although the Russia-Ukraine war is a territorial war of attrition. This Middle East war is actually directly on maritime and energy.
In the past, what you said was telling the MPP that they couldn't use the Russia-Ukraine war as excuse for the challenges Ghanaians were facing.
Yes, we said that. So we said that the Russia-Ukraine war alone cannot be the reason for which the economy was collapsing. In fact, the Russia-Ukraine war revealed the rotten underbelly of the economy. It was a fact that the cedi had depreciated for over 40%. And so if there was any little external shock, we were going to feel it. Now, since we came, we have worked hard to make sure that the cedi appreciates. If the facts are clear, now the cedi is in a better position. So just imagine where we took the cedi from. If it had gone up and it was 17 before the tension started, we would have been in a far worse place. So we are telling Ghanaians that we have done better with the economy, and it is why we are even in this position. It is not the best. Like I said, I'm also feeling it because I also buy fuel.
So the concern is that things are already hard because of what's happening. Is it possible for the government to temporarily suspend the 1 cedi levy on every litre of fuel you buy just until things normalize? Because eventually they will say water will find its level.
Well, so I think for the 1 cedi levy, it's something that has to do with legislation. It's legislated. So then we'll have to look at the law. I have heard hints of governments looking at a review of that 1 cedi levy on the fuel price. But what Ghanaians must also remember is that even in the time of the NPP, okay, where a barrel of Brent on the international market was selling between $73 to $78 per barrel, we were getting prices like this at the fuel pump. Current prices like this at the fuel pump. Now we are doing between 119.
It was 105 yesterday per Brent.
Yes, so we are doing between 105 and 119, and we still have this price, which the NPP gave us when per dollar was about $73 per barrel. You understand? So yes, Ghanaians may be feeling some heat now, but they shouldn't forget that at some point this government worked hard to bring the fuel to 9 cedis, 99 pesos.
So let me get clarity. If you say that you have heard hints of a review of the 1 cedi levy on every liter of fuel, which one are you saying that we should expect a reduction of, or a total scrap like people are calling for?
I cannot say that for sure. From where I sit, what I can say is that the government is a listening government. And I have already demonstrated from the beginning of my presentation that the government always looks for ways to cushion its citizens. We have done it before. And in this difficult time, the government has heard the people, and I've heard hints of a possible review of the levy that is currently on, how do you call it? The prices. Also, I would like to say that this government is not a government that, just looks at a short-term solution for problems that are enduring. It is why we put in so much effort into reviving TOR, because we also know that TOR can contribute significantly in making sure that in future, when we have such shocks, it will not impact so hard on the people of Ghana. Currently, TOR is doing very well. We are hoping to continue to retool and renovate some parts and also build their capacity together with Centio so they can help augment the oil that we import into this country.
I want us to look at some of the taxes that are already on petroleum products, which is why we are seeing the prices go up even with what's happening around us globally. And if we can show the details of really the tax components that we have. Of course, we have the Energy Debt Recovery Levy, the ESLA. We have the Road Fund Levy, Energy Fund Levy, Price Stabilization and Recovery Levy, Sanitation and Pollution Levy, Energy Sector Recovery Levy. There's also the Special Petroleum Tax, Primary Distribution Margin, Bust Margin, Fuel Marketing, Marking Margin, Marketers Margin, Dealers or Retailers Operators Margin. So there are about 12 components, which is why when the NPA decided to set the price floor, as it were, to petrol moving from 11 points, a little over 11 to 13 plus, and diesel from 14.35 to now 17.10. It said that the lowest the OMCs could sell these products would be the prices that we now see. And yesterday we brought you the information about some even selling above the lowest set by the NPA. But Madam Ayana, what's your thoughts really on what GPRTU is asking for? 12 components already in terms of taxes on our fuel products.
Good morning to our cherished viewers. And fuel is what we all move on with, so it's important that we talk about it. The call by, for instance, the GPRTU and the rest of the populace that feel like government should take off the levy. For me, it's a bit too early for us to be demanding that. In the first instance, why did we have that levy of one city? It's because we said that we owed, the energy sector debt was such that $3 billion we owed, and we needed that to pay the debts and also keep our power generation running so we could enjoy 24-hour electricity. And we all know that enjoying 24-hour electricity is good for industry. If we start having doomsaw, then it means that we're going to be in bigger trouble. So for me, I think that it's quite premature for the GPRTU to start asking that the levy is taken off. when you look at the taxes that you've just given us, it all boils down to the fact that the energy budget is not stable, it's not in a good shape. Debts everywhere. So we have to get funds to make sure that it's working. Unfortunately for us, we are not a country that everybody is paying tax. The tax elements that come in is so small as compared to the numbers that are in business. So the only way that government would get anything at all to run this economy is through the taxation of fuel, which we all use because we all enter trotro, we all enter buses, we all use fuel in some way or the other, we all use electricity. So for that, we're able to at least contribute a little bit. I remember in 2025, when this energy levy was being suggested, I remember that the Chamber of Oil Marketers were against it, and they said that if it happened, some marketing companies might go into insolvency. But we did not see that. Did we see any marketing company go into insolvency? No. And then we also had petroleum businesses saying that, things were not going to go well and all that. But nothing of that sort happened. Why? Because the government had been able to stabilize the cedi against the dollar. So we're able to enjoy. For the first time, Ghanaians jubilated over a price reduction in fuel that was very significant. And I would want to say that the NDC government has been very transparent with us. When they felt that they could reduce the fuel, they did. And I'm expecting that in the same vein, if they find out that they will have to maintain this particular 1 cedi, they will. But if they can do away with it, I am very sure that they will do away with it. With regards to the taxes and the levies and whatnot, it's always the government that has to take the brunt when it comes to reduction of anything, taxation and levies. I think that's time for the retailers, the marketers and all that to also give back. Because at the end of the day, they are now having a very stable dollar cedi rate to work with, which is very good for them. And therefore, if it's anything at all, they should be able also to rather cut down a bit on their prices. You understand? Apart from the price floor that was brought out.
You mean the OMCs, the oil marketing companies?
Yes, the oil marketing companies, and even the retailers of all these four things, yes. They should also at least try and reduce. If you were putting a markup of, say, 5 pesos, try and bring up a markup of 3 or 4 pesos, so that we keep the prices quite moderate for every Ghanaian to be able to afford. Because
so what it is now is that because of the price floor given by the NPA, for petrol they can't go beyond 13.35. And for diesel, they can't go beyond, below 13.35, and for diesel, they can't go below 17.10.
Yeah, but we are having some at 13.45, I think, and stuff like that, which means that they have reduced. So that's what I'm trying to say. At least you don't have to go up above what government stipulates. That's fair enough. But when it comes to GPRTU, I think that they have not been fair to us as Ghanaians and to the government of the day as well. Because with GPRTU, they have not actually played the game fairly. We still have them doing short shots. They take people, if you're going from here to Kaswa, they'll drop you somewhere and then you have to board another, and they take different fares for that. That is what I have heard, and I think that is most unfortunate. And it's the same GPRTU that would come and tell you that it's not just fuel, but spare parts and the rest of it.
Now they are talking about deteriorating roads.
Well, but the roads are being done. You see, there's a difference when nothing is being done. But you can see fairly that the roads are being done. At one point, we saw them jubilating over a road that had been done because they felt that it was going to do what? Reduce the amount of time they took on the roads and also save them from all those expenses that they would rather use on spare parts and stuff. And right now, because of the dollar cedi margins, the spare parts, I think, are stable because we're not hearing it anymore. Now we are talking about the fuel. And all that we are asking is that everyone has to bear with us. because these are trying times. It's a global issue. It's not just Ghana. And today, as we woke up, I mean, even Nigeria as an oil-producing country, a member of OPEC, is having problems. They produce almost 1.5 million barrels a day. We are producing about 250,000 or thereof. And we are trying as much as possible that when you get to the pump, you will get fuel. They are not even getting it. You understand? We are hearing of rationing in South Africa and all that. These are bigger economies than us. You understand? But we are trying to stay afloat. So I think that as Ghanaians, we should appreciate the little things and also sacrifice a little bit more for us to be able to get the economy stable so that we all enjoy the benefits of it. Because otherwise, if we try to stretch out, then everything is going to go back to where it was, where we didn't want and we wanted change. You understand? So for me, let's not rush into removing any levies because we still needed to keep the lights on. And the only thing I would ask is that I think that we were promised by the Energy Ministry that there would be, they would inform us as to how much they've collected so far and what it has been used for. I think when they do that, Ghanaians will see that our money is being put to good use, especially now that they say they are changing transformers and trying to get new people to get electricity and all that. So I think that these are some of the things that Ghanaians would want to see. But
essentially what you're saying is that even if there should be some changes, Ghanaians should give some time for those changes to take place. Let me acknowledge the presence of Hajia Rabiatu Salifu, who is Deputy Director of Communications with the Opposition MPP. Good morning to you, ma'am. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. How are you? And good morning to my colleagues here.
Thank you very much. I'm well, thank you. So let me get your thoughts, Hajia Gloria Menu, on really what the GPRTU is saying. Madam Ayana doesn't think that it's okay for the GPRTU to be asking for this now, especially when, in the view of a number of Ghanaians, the GPRTU has not been fair to us.
Good morning to everybody, especially to United Party team. It's not easy to say that they should relax and then just keep watch. They have their thoughts as well, their views as well. Just like Madam Mayana is saying, I am also of the view that it's too sudden to ask that we scrap off the energy levy on fuel, because just like she's saying, it's going to affect us so much, because if you look at the prices of fuel right now, taking 1 CD off is still going to be expensive. It's still going to be 16 and 12, relatively a little bit expensive. And then before, it was 9 CDs and they didn't reduce the transport fares. Dollar has been stable for a while. I was so concerned when it was reduced and fares were still expensive and they were still doing the shortcuts and still we were seeing a lot of people by the roadside looking for transports to their various workplaces and were not getting. So I think they should have accumulated some kind of profits in the past, and we didn't see anything that was affecting our transport sector. Even their vehicles and all were still the same. So I think we should all know that this is a global thing and is affecting everybody. Is a long while I saw somebody running around going to look for fuel. When we had issues in the past, you see people queuing for fuel. It was in shortage, and you see other countries are facing those issues. And Ghana, we are so fortunate that we've not gotten to that extent yet. So we should all be patient. We just don't want to come back to the place where we'll be having issues of electricity doom, so people will be complaining. At least the dollar is stable, inflation is good. We should all bear with the president now. Everybody knows that things that are going on is global. If we are able to be patient, we know that we are all praying that very soon the war will soon come to an end. We're praying maybe in a month or so, like Donald Trump is saying. If everything goes on well, we'll not have to fight for the levy to be scrapped off. So we should be patient.
We should be patient, you say. Hajiya Salifu, what are your thoughts?
Good morning to our viewers, and then good morning to my people in Salaga. I just returned from the constituency, and then we had observed some funerals. We performed some funerals for some people in the constituency. I still want to tell my people that we should take heart. Inshallah, they would be in a very in God's protection and perfect peace state. And good morning to some critical followers of mine. When they didn't see me on TV earlier, they were sending messages, where are you? We want to see your face. Yes, Alhaji Abbas Caesar, I'm here. Nothing happened to me. Then I have Halima to Tabarakallah. She's a very staunch NPP member. I'm saying good morning to all of them. And to all Ghanaians, I still say good. It's been quite some few weeks, right? Yeah, so good morning to everyone. My sister, Jua, congratulations on your appointment. We had it quite tough when we were in power, and now they are in power. So I'm saying it's the first time we're meeting after your victory. Yeah. So congratulations to you and my colleague panelists. Good morning to everyone. It's simple. You see, for us to be able to sympathize and speak on behalf of a government that spoke so loud on certain issues, I think it will be very difficult to even have a balance, because if you have, yes, some of the issues you want to approach them objectively, that look, yes, we might want to have a wait, we might want to say, let's take it easy, it's too early and all that. Another angle reminds you quickly that just yesterday, these same people were very impatient. The patient that we are required to have today. Gladly, I haven't heard the NDC this morning on this panel discussion yet. Maybe she has spoken before I got here. But my two other colleagues who have spoken are telling us to be patient. And I want to just think that it's a way of helping the NDC to say this is what our point is. But wait. I agree that some don't even have it at pump. We are dealing with a government that told us we are resetting. And resetting simply means getting away all that we had done, largely with things that they weren't satisfied with. Now, I wouldn't have had any much to say this morning because it's Ghanaians versus the government. But what I have taken critical look at is the fact that there has been this link, which I am seeking to understand this morning, that yes, if we were made to understand that, I just learned last night that the word that is being emphasized on is solely, that the external factors are not the sole causes of our hardship in this country. That is how they are actually re-explaining it. Granted, we want to even go with the independent nature of it or the main cause nature of it. I want to say, look, Ghanaians believed in a very proactive government. We still have the soundbites. And I'll take you to this news item, City Newsroom, which we all believe is a very credible source for us to always fetch news from. That has the current finance minister, Atuforsen, saying he wouldn't be requiring introduction of new taxes to be able to generate revenue or to run the country, if I may paraphrase. Now the point is, even if you are maintaining some taxes, like what is the name? The price stabilization levy and the recovery levies and all that, which we have seen it to be something that has been retained. And then the D levy that my sister spoke around, being the Dumsor levy and all that. The simple expectation we have is that this is a government that told us they were coming to run the country without extorting the citizenry.
You think the government is extorting the citizenry?
Without burdening the country. Well, it depends on the scope you watch it. I am with the GPRTU. They are saying, look, given the condition of roads we have, they are applying the roads and they are telling you that usage of these roads are not that easy on their cars.
I want to take
Two, they are saying, look, this is a government that gave us a strong reassurance that, look, we are coming and we will serve you effectively without introduction of any tax.
I want to take you back to the point you made earlier about a government that said it was coming to reset. Are you saying that you can't see any resets currently happening?
Tell me what you have seen. A reset. In terms of reset, what have you seen?
You haven't seen or heard the government scrapping the e-levy, the betting tax, the emissions tax, the COVID-19 health recovery, especially for the e-levy that a number of Ghanaians were against, and yet the government went through with it and eventually was forced to reduce it from 1.7 to 1.5, eventually 1%, and even later came to confess to us that they didn't get what they were anticipating they would get. All these, you can't see that as part of reset.
E-levy out, D-levy in. That's one. Two, 21.9% tax on non-life insurance is on. That's a task. That's taxation. I sat here, you weren't here. I sat with Bella and Roland and co, telling them, yes, I will never shy away from taxation because we need taxes to build the country. Solid. But what I am telling you is that if you know and knew very well that you had done your assessment very well, you wouldn't have said one thing and come back to tell us another thing. It's so nice to just sit and watch the contradictions that are ongoing. Campaign promises versus implementation. Complete mess. I want you to quickly have a check. On the 13th January 2025, the point I made earlier on, and I'm just rehashing that, and the source is City Newsroom. Atu14 said what? He will boost the economy or the revenue of this country without introducing taxes. And I'm bringing you back to the D-levy. So if you're telling me, please,
they were not introduced by the
did we have Doomsor levy as it's called?
No, the other taxes
you asked a simple question. You asked me a simple question that if they had removed the E-levy, didn't you? And I am telling you, doing a chess play, removing one and replacing with one and still slapping us with 21.9 non-insurance levy, non-life insurance tax is something that is still biting us. That's exactly what I am telling you.
Are you being fair to a government that met a cedi to dollar rate of about 17% and also fuel prices between 16 Ghana cedis to 16.99 Ghana cedis at a point when you were getting crude less than $90 per barrel?
I find
and now you're getting crude as at yesterday. Brent per barrel was 105 in the midst of a war at a place where the world gets about 20% of its crude.
Sorry, I find your question repetitive. Last 2 weeks.
It's not repetitive.
Look. Last 2 weeks, you asked same question. I don't forget, and my viewers are still here. They still do remember what you asked.
Because you're
now
making an argument of what has been said.
Will answer you. I will answer you. Well, I have repeated, and you are repeating. Doesn't nullify mine or yours. What I am saying is that you are repeating, and I'll answer you with same answer. What I am saying, and if you had listened to me closely from the beginning, I said I wouldn't have had much to say if these people were not too loud. Look. I would never run away from critics if things are not right. On this same platform, when Cecilia Dapa's issue came, everybody heard me, watched me speak on that issue. Two, what is the point when you say dollar is stabilized, which I have appreciated, which I have commended this same government on? Then fast forward, I'm going back to Tamale tomorrow and I'm paying over 6,000 Ghana cedi for a round trip. When dollar was 14, I had to pay 1,600 for in. Today, dollar is around 11, and I'm paying over 3,000 for just one way. You are telling me that it's been stabilized? I am talking to the best managers of the economy who told us, who still have their sound bites being played, whom we do have representatives from coming to tell us, yes, I only did my job. When it was difficult to talk on behalf of the NDC, myself and some few others did. So playing my sound bites is only just telling me that I really worked. Of course they worked, but did they need to lie? And this morning I was just really praying to have some communicators and knowledge, because you know why? I can't really hold her to a point where she sat and sounded the way others did. If we had one of them sitting here, I would have quoted them verbatim, I would have told them their body language, and I would have told them that Ghanaians never were expecting lies from them. So basically, I'm telling you that you can't bring A, remove B, and still come and tell me to be patient and clap for you. You told me you are resetting. Resetting, Ghanaians believe that, yes, NPP, enough of you. These people say they will do better. Let's bring them to come and do better. And I am not feeling it. Some other people are not feeling it. You think the buyers of this fuel are not complaining? Now, what is the point? Are we in the point of equalization? No. You can't tell me you are good at it. You can't tell me you are resetting and come to sit to start to equalize. We gave up, thumbs up. We gave up on all that we did. We came up early to even concede defeat, accepting that, yes, we probably didn't do it right. Then you are this morning telling me that I did this. It's gone. In 2017, when we sat on this same platform to speak, the NDC told us, look, we did ours, we are gone. You have taken over, do it right. And today we are repeating it to the NDC. You have taken over, do it right. Your manifesto is still sitting in our laptops. We still have both soft copy and hard copy, and we will check. We admit that Ghanaians said go and sit. But you, the masters, should do it better. That's basically what I am saying.
So the basic question here is GPRTU giving the government 48 hours to scrap some of the levies, or members will be forced to increase prices. What's your thought on that?
They are feeling the heat. They are feeling the heat.
What do you want GPRTU to do?
Oh, they have done what they have to do. It's not what I want them to do. They are telling us what they want to be done.
So you agree that they should increase
prices? I do agree, absolutely. If the NDC could side with the same GPRTU when they were talking, what prevents me from siding with them when they are feeling the heat?
It's too early, because already we've heard the president say that if things persist, the government would have to take drastic action. You don't think that it's time for the GPRTU to at least give the government some time? And let me just quote the president here. He said, so far, it's not affected us as much. Of course, that was before, you know, the new price window. But if this thing continues for some more, then we will have to take some decisive decisions. And so the president already admits that a decision will be taken. And for GPRTU to give 48-hour ultimatum to the government, critics think that it's too early to do that.
My sister, how can they be sure about this reassurance and too early and given time, when the same government officials here, about a month ago, Honorable, my own brother, MP for Tamale South, Haruna Idrisu, sat here and called out the finance minister, saying he hasn't made available the funding or the release clearance for recruitment of teachers. Now, what is the clear point here? He made a promise of 50,000 slots to be given to our teachers, both non-teaching and teaching. Fast forward, just 7,000 given. So they feel, and we all feel that, look, if you are telling me 50,000 today, tomorrow you are giving me just 7,000 and not even 10,000, how can I be sure that I can become and still watch you? Look, when you still look on the space, you would have seen that even the sports minister, when we move into sports, would come to tell you that they are considering about 800 supporters to be taken to the World Cup. When just 10 days, because the president spoke on the 21st or 20th, and he came to speak on the 31st. So the president tells us no sponsorship. And look, there is one issue that actually touches my heart, because I have been deep-necked or deep-rooted in the Hajj operations of this country from the period of 2016 to sometime 2023. Let me tell you what is happening now. We used to perform Hajj, and my sister is a Muslim as well. We used to perform Hajj by paying for our sacrificial rams on arrival. Even in most cases, you have some pilgrims arriving and getting their families, sending them money to be able to pay, because our situations are not the same. Today, the same government, I'm still bringing you to contradictions, the same government that told us they are giving us the best of Hajj as a Muslim, as somebody who understands the Hajj processes very well, is telling us to pay the $200 on spot before even visa processing. Now, you know what the plight of these people are. Most of the people would have to struggle to pay for the air tickets, the tickets first, and then now go to reorganize themselves on pocket money and also this other expenditure. You are putting pressure on them.
I want to get
so when I want to talk, can you allow me land and you move? Okay. You've allowed all other people to land quietly. Don't do this to me. So what I am telling you is that whether fair or unfair, the GPRTU has spoken. I am with them. Contradictions are just too many that we can't be sure that if they say we should be patient, we want to be patient. And 3, there is pressure boiling. When we needed to commend them, I was one of the people who commended this government. And when it is right to call them out, I obviously will do.
And I will let you respond to some of the things that Hajia has said, Madam Ajapoma, but you're Muslim as well. I want to get your understanding of what you've been told as regards why now you have to pay that $200 on the spot. What information have you been told as a Muslim yourself?
Okay, so it's interesting. My sister brought this thing up this morning. But I quite remember I was on Hajj board last year, and it was an amazing trip. Because from previous years, Dr. Baumia is a Muslim, and he was part of the government, but we didn't gift anything to Muslims. I was amazed when I saw Hajj last year. Every pilgrim had a gift from the government. So if you are going to Hajj, and you don't have the means, it's not permissible for you to go.
So what she's saying is not accurate?
Yes.
So on the hold on, please. I will let you come in.
If you can't perform Hajj and go and slaughter, you are not ready to go for Hajj.
Wow.
If you are a Muslim and you are going for Hajj and you call home that they give you money, then maybe somebody sponsored you to be there. So we have to clarify that. If you don't have the means, then you don't go for Hajj. So it's a package. It's not about paying before even your visa is being given to you, but they want to solve the issues of pilgrims getting there and getting stranded. It's not supposed to be part of our Hajj that you go to Hajj and be stranded. People go and go asking for alms. So I think it's on the right path. Hajj is doing a great job, and I don't want us to use this as politics. Exactly. It is religion, and we don't involve politics in the religion. The president of the day has done well. I was on the Hajj trip last year on all the 7 flights from Accra and all the 7 flights from Tamale, and they did an amazing job. There is no president that has come and has gifted our programs haram to go and perform Hajj before, and they were so happy. People had to save that money of buying the haram to do other things. So I applaud the government on that. So please, let's not involve.
So you don't think that Hajia Salifou is representing the fact as it is?
It's not.
Can I
if you don't have the means,
I'll come to you.
It's not permissible for you to go on Hajj if you don't have the means. If you even have the means of going and you don't even save for your family members, you are not going to have a full scores, if I may use the word, scores for the Hajj you are performing. Okay, so everybody should understand. If you don't have the means to go on Hajj, don't go.
So that was just to get a response on the Hajj bit. But I want Madam Ajapoma to respond to some of the things you said. I will get the thought of Madam Ayana as well, and I'll come back to you for your concerns, please.
Okay, thank you so much, Beatrice. I would like to say, I think Ms. Ravi has said a whole lot of things, taking us to different places, but I will ground myself in what we have come here to discuss. And so the fuel prices. And I think she mentioned that we at the time said that external factors are not the sole reason for which fuel prices increase. It was true then, and it is true today. We have demonstrated it. The kind of things or the elements that comes together to form fuel prices. beyond, besides the international market price, we have the taxes as you displayed on the screen. We also have the dollar rates, which affects the prices of fuel. We have government policy. There's demand and supply trend. So a whole lot of things goes into pricing fuel. So what we said in the past was true then, it is still true today. It is why we say that because we have been able to manage the economy very well, it is why we are not today feeling the full impact of what is happening, the tension that is happening in the Middle East. Because mind you, what is happening in the Middle East is not just in like a war, like it's happening in Russia, Ukraine. This one is like a choke point conflict where the intention of Iran is to ensure that fuel does not reach people so that it can drive international market price to put pressure on US to stop the war. So that is the primary goal of, one party of this war. So yes, it is affecting us, but what we are saying is that, yes, we were right. If you had managed the economy better in the past, maybe Ghanaians wouldn't have felt the pressure and the fire like we felt when you were in power. Today, the impact, we believe, is not as hard because we have been able to properly manage the economy. I think the other thing she spoke about was the GPRTU complaining about the bad roads. I believe that if Ms. Rabiatu raises that issue this morning, it's an indictment on her own government, because you just left power some few days ago. You launched year of roads and all of that. So if today GPRTU members or drivers are complaining of bad roads, I don't think it is an issue you even have to bring up on this table for discussion. And like you rightly said, when you go across the country, there's construction everywhere. As part of the big push projects, we are constructing roads everywhere. And we are building a nation. This is not like preparing noodles. It is not like few minutes thing. We are building a nation
really obsessed with noodles.
to last for a very long time. And so we have to, it will take a little time for us to build and finish these roads. And so, like we have said, the GPRTU have to be patient, with us. And then she talked about taxation, NDC being against taxation. I cannot recall any NDC member being specifically against taxation. We were against nuisance tax, and the taxes that we promised to abolish, we did abolish indeed, because we've made the arguments that we have taxing laws, and some of the taxes you brought on board did not follow the law. It was unlawful for you to tax in certain areas, and even some of the taxes were counterproductive, like e-levy. We are moving towards a cashless economy. We are encouraging people to use electronic means to, for payments, and now you come to tax the same portal that they are, or the same transaction line that they are using to make the payments. It is counterproductive to what government wants to achieve. So we had good justification for abolishing those taxes. When we are doing politics, we must know that beyond the politics, there is a country, Ghana, that we are building together.
I seem to get the understanding that, for instance, the 12 components of taxes we have in the fuel area, if we said that we're going to reset, then perhaps we should have cleared that as well.
We cannot clear every tax on the price of fuel. We cannot do that. And this is not taxes that the NDC introduced newly. These taxes have existed for some time. We need the taxes to build roads. We need the taxes to build hospitals. We need the taxes to build things. And when we question the NPP, it is because we say, you collected all those taxes, but when we ask you to point to us one regional hospital you built, we cannot find. You started Agenda 111 and could not complete any single one, but even rushed to commission an uncompleted Agenda 111 building. So Ghanaians have complained about taxes, but also because we are unable to see what you are doing with the taxes. Here, it is clear what we are doing. We see the road construction ongoing. And so it is not practical to say that we should clear every single tax item on the price of fuel. we had those tax items on the price of fuel at a point when fuel was still 9 cedis, a little over 9 cedis. So like I've said, there are other things that forms part of the build-up of price of fuel in this country. Tax is just one component of it. There's the international market price, which is hiked now, and there's the dollar, which we've been able to do our homework, so it's kind of now cushioning us from the impact from the international prices and also the taxes.
Madam Ayana.
Well, I'd like to say that I still stand by the view that it's too early for anything to be done, like taking off the levy. And we also have to look at the fact that we cannot compare the two situations of what the NDC probably said when the MPP was in power governing the Ukraine-Russia war. Because Ukraine-Russia war is on, and then this new global Middle East one is also on. So there are two now that the NDC is dealing with. At the end of the day, I also want to say that when Rabiatu talked about the non-life insurance, this was the first time that I had actually heard of it, so I just went back to look at it, and I realized that the non-life insurance did not affect pensions, and life insurance per se, it had to do with other factors, but those ones were quite exempt from the 15%. And you know, if you juxtapose that to the fact that people had haircuts in their bonds, you know,
those were voted out,
and all that. Yeah, that's why, you know, and that is why we have to stop this back and forth about we said this and we didn't say this. When you're talking about bad roads, like Jampuma said, you actually came out with a year of roads, and we all felt, I mean, it was something that we heard, we were fed with about a year of roads, and at the end of the day, we are still talking about roads, and the monies that were supposed to have gone into this year of roads, we haven't seen the roads. So it means that there was a problem there. But I quite remember that our president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, at the beginning of one of his addresses, said that Ghanaians were going to suffer that because there's going to be construction everywhere. So the roads are being done, and by all means, you cannot do roads without, you know, having problems on the roads. GPRTU complaining, I think one of the things that they must be complaining about is the nature and the state of their buses. Their buses are old, their buses are not well maintained, and those are things that they should be looking at right now. Because at the end of the day, if you don't maintain your buses properly and your buses are so aged, by all means, there will be discomforts on the roads, and people are bound to complain. And those are the things that I would rather say that, look, they would rather should be asking government to bring in more new buses for them. You understand? At least buses, because the older your bus is, the more fuel it might consume. You understand? And then the more times you might be visiting the fitting shop. So you always find that you're not even making enough money. And then you tend to think that you're not making enough money because the fuel is high. And therefore you start making short for passengers. That is unfair. So for me, the GPRTU should go back to the drawing board and ask of government things that are relevant to improve on the services they render to the people of this country, so that at the end of the day, this whole fuel problem will not affect them that much. And as for the Hajj, I wouldn't want to say it, because I ask myself sometimes why government is even involved in the issue of a religious act. Because years ago, it was Ghana Air Tours. You understand? And it was just one sector. They did it. People actually chartered aircrafts to come and take pilgrims. It was a completely private affair. And maybe we should be going towards that, because somehow we are beginning to take religion and politics as a meal. We are discussing it every day, and one day we will find problems, because religion is not good with politics. It affects nations, and therefore maybe it is time for us to start looking at ways and means of sending it back again for private people to do what they have to do. But I do agree with Hajia that if you do not have the means,
Hajia Gloria
Menu, that Hajj is a personal thing. It is a religious, strictly religious something. You understand? That is in the Quran. That says that if in your lifetime, if you can afford it. It didn't say that somebody, this political, I keep saying, those of you who are taking political air tickets to to Mecca and back. I don't know if you are real Alhajis. You understand what I mean? Because at the thing, you are supposed to, and it entails a lot. You must not leave debt. You must not borrow money to go. You must not do a poor to go. You must use, like your own sweat. That is what it says. So why should you be depending on government to give you $200 or to give you anything? You must be ready to fund your own thing to go to Hajj, unless somebody else decides to do it for you, and that person takes the responsibility and the expenses. So let's keep politics out of this Hajj thing. Then we will be in a good stance.
Would that be your final word on this? Because when we come back, I would go to the education.
So my final words is just what I said, that I think that GPRTU should stay, and then the minority too should understand the fact that, yes, you are in opposition, and the other thing is that you are Ghanaians, and therefore you must be trying to support the government to run this country well, because we are all in it. Majority of the people who may be complaining about this whole issue of bringing out the levy and all that, we would sit in some of say they are also MPP people. That's how it is. But we don't want it to be MPP people, because all of us as Ghanaians, I bought fuel yesterday. It was more than what I bought last week. You understand? So we all understand the situation. Let's not play politics with things that affect Ghanaians. You understand? As people, we can play our politics game, but this shouldn't come in.
And I want to get your perhaps 45 seconds response, because you wanted to, and then I'll get yours as well, and we'll go to the next topic.
It's just unfortunate that when government A is in power, religion can be politicized. And when government B is in power, we should please not politicize. Quite funny and interesting. Let me bring you here. Because His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was a leader of our party and still a leader, being a Muslim, the biggest backlash he got was that he wasn't a true Muslim. What did that have to do with governance? They drew him, they kept a pig's head on his head. They said he was Alhaji Whiskey, what have you? What did we do about that? Did these same communicators talk to the NDC telling them to stop that, not to politicize, not to bring religion into politics? I expect this to happen in the coming days, because we obviously will go into 2028 election, and I expect these same words to be said to the same parties. Two, on Hajj. Now, there was this disinformation sent. I agree, when you don't have the capacity to go, you shouldn't go. But Islam has made Hajj, and especially the point I made was on the sacrificial ram. Now there is some flexibility and condition on the sacrifice of the ram, that if you are performing Hajj and you can't afford the ram, the sacrificial ram, you would go ahead and perform 3 days fasting in Saudi and come back home upon arrival to come and fast for additional 7 days, making it 10 days to make up to the ram. So Islam itself is telling you that yes, you can go to Hajj, but there is still flexibility. So to sit and say, if you don't have the means, how can I get money to go and buy the tickets and will not have same money to go? I was basically saying that the pressure should be eased. The pressure, now, talking about gift and all that, I have done Hajj operations.
I'll be glad if you can be brief, because I need to move
for
to my
more than
next
5 years. For more than yes, it's an area I'm very passionate about. I can't remember any day when a panelist raises an issue of concern and people will be rushing you on this. So allow me to speak, please.
It's because
what I am saying is, when you were talking, I didn't talk.
But I'm saying that you should try and be brief, just so I can
obviously will be brief, because I'm interested in talking on the next topic as well. But what I am telling you is that there is flexibility. Two, it is also telling you, giving ihram and all that, versus the struggle same last year, versus the issues we followed from Tamale, from Accra to Medina to Mecca. Come on, nobody should deceive us by saying last year Hajj was so perfect. Did you follow through what we did? I was part and parcel. I was actually very instrumental. And after this, I don't mind sharing or having some more conversations with my sister, so we understand each other more.
Your thoughts on this topic, and we'll move on to the next, your final thoughts. Yes, I'll come to you. Yes, I'll come to you for your final thoughts as well, and then we'll move on to the next one. Yes.
My final thoughts is not supposed to be a banter back and forth.
No.
But what I have realized is that previously, fuel was there. We were struggling as a nation. When e-levy came, I was thinking that e-levy was coming to solve all the problems of Ghana. Because when it was passed, I saw the jubilation and all that, but it didn't happen. Here we are, food prices are down, things are moving. You see work everywhere, you see construction everywhere. So if we are saying that we should be patient as a nation, we all don't want to come back to doom so. That's why we are all pleading, we should be patient. And it's just a rush to say that we should scrap out a levy that I've seen lights all this time. It's difficult to see lights out nowadays. So that's why we are all saying that, look, things are moving on, prices are down. Now rice, you can buy rice, you can move from one place to the other freely, you see construction and others. So if we are pleading that they should be patient, it's on the right path. Hajj is a whole thing on its own. I think that one day we should come and then clarify this, because I wish that one day we'll come and talk about Hajj, because this ram fee they are talking about, maybe there's more to it that we don't know.
All right. I wish that you would never come to discuss religion on a set like this.
No, just to clarify.
Yes, no, you cannot clarify, because religion is such that everyone has a different understanding and a different explanation.
Let's move on because of time.
You can take it to a religious section.
We're moving on because of time. Madam Ajapoma, you have the floor.
On this issue about the fuel increment, I would like to tell Ghanaians, trust His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Great. Trust him. He's the man you voted for. You voted for overwhelmingly because you believe in the things that he can do. I am asking you, like our tagline says, building the Ghana we want together. With priorities. You will contribute your part. Government will do its part, but trust governments. And the solutions we are building are solutions that are going to last for a very long time, so we don't come back to a situation like this.
Help us understand the rationale behind the Education Ministry's directive, as it were, I call it, that now BECE candidates should wait until the results are in before they select their schools.
Okay.
And your thought on it?
Yes, so I think the rationale and the problem we are trying to cure with that directive is that usually I was part of the computerized system where a school was selected for me. And some of the challenges for some of my colleagues was that sometimes a child is not able, or even a parent, and as a parent you are even tempted to believe in your word very much, and sometimes a child is not able to properly assess their strength when they are going to write exams. And you see, this is a competitive exam, so it is not even only enough that you passed. You must pass and pass well to be able to get placements in your school of choice. And so what's the problem we face is that you end up having the children choosing very high grade schools that are very competitive to get into, and then by the time the results come, maybe it is not as expected. Now we find a lot of students being stranded, and so to cure that and to prevent that problem, the Education Minister believed that why don't we wait till you see your results? It is more realistic. Then you'll be able to choose that, okay, if I wanted these schools, this grade cut I do not make it for this school. Instead of choosing and getting frustrated and getting disappointed, you can now be realistic about your choice. Because sometimes, let's say a child who wants to go to PRESEC, chooses PRESEC or St. Augustine's or some big school or top school, and they write the WASI, they don't make it to those schools. Now they have to go through the stress of trying to get another school, and oftentimes they are not happy, they are depressed, they are forced into a school that's like there is vacancy, so you just go because your colleagues are going, and if you don't take care, they'll leave you behind. Here, what we are trying to do is to present you the opportunity to make a realistic choice, so that you don't feel disappointed at the end of the day, and also we don't have children struggling after their colleagues have been placed and they already started learning, and then you are now struggling to get a different school because you chose only grade A schools and your results didn't cut it. So I think that it is something that will help. owing to the fact that I was also part of the computerized system, and I saw how frustrating some of my colleagues were at the time.
Madam Ayana, your thoughts?
I don't know if it's a good idea or not, because I came from a different system. We went through the common entrance, where you do the exam, you are called for an interview for the schools that you have chosen, and they decide whether you have what it takes to go into that school. But I think that the problem that the minister was trying to solve was this issue of everybody wanting to go to a particular school and not getting admission, and therefore you have people saying all manner of things, and then the corrupt practices that go around it. You know, I experienced it once, because when I was looking for a school for my ward, this computerized system, she chose Laboni, and she was given some school, but she had such good grades, so I went to Laboni, and I went on the board, and I saw, you know, they kind of like have a printouts. And I looked and I saw like the gradings of other people, and I went straight to the headmistress. I said, it's not going to be fair, because my ward had far better results, and these people are coming to this school. So I think that she deserves a place, and she did, because I went to the computer room to make sure that she did. Now, the minister is trying to solve that problem, okay? So looking at the situation, I'm happy with it. I mean, if you know your grades, then you are able to choose the school that you want to go to in that. But my problem now is I don't know, because the policy statement that was issued was just that for us on TV. We haven't seen the full document. So my question is this: is it going to the placement? Is it going to be the same computerized system, whereby when the child sees that I have done well, I have got a 6, so it's all going to go through a computerized system, taking into consideration the fact that probably somebody wants to go to pre-sec, and they're about, the placements for pre-sec is about maybe 500 students, and there are about 1,000 that have gotten a 6 to be able to qualify to go to pre-sec. How is the selection going to be like? You get me? Are they going to be able to put it on the computer so that fairness would play out? You see, when you do this also, some people might not get the opportunity to go to schools that would have changed their lives.
As in the current proposal on board?
Yes. I am looking at a situation where well-endowed primary and senior high schools, like the international schools, they might be able, it's the same thing that is happening now. But when we do that, how about the rural schools? How are they going to really cope with this situation? Because some of these other, I don't know, maybe a quota must be given to rural schools, so that if some school is taking, say, from aggregate 6 to aggregate 12, a rural person who has been learning by the lantern or no, you know, that kind of thing, should be able to get into that school with aggregate 18. Because thinking about it, the person might be able to do better. These are the things that I want the ministry to look at. How do we bring in the disadvantaged ones? Because most of the government schools, the state schools that we have, the primary to the senior high schools, they are not so well endowed. It's the international schools that have these facilities. So how do we get some students to also go? Because you see, everyone is looking for an A school. Yet government doesn't have the money or the resources to be able to bring up infrastructure that will leapfrog these schools to A schools or B schools, from especially the rural areas. I was watching a television a few days ago, and Kusanaba Tech, which is in the Boku West district, they don't have anywhere. They don't even have they don't have classrooms. All their classrooms, all the roof has been ripped off, and I saw mud houses, thatch houses, no place. They go to the toilets. Excuse my language this morning if you're having a breakfast. But, you know, like they do that in their bushes and things. So you cannot afford to get people to even want to go to that school. You understand? So I think that government should also do well, apart from trying to place them, to also beef up infrastructure in these schools, so that at least when the schools don't take you for your first choice and they give you Kusanaba, you will not want to say, I'm not going.
Okay. So this is a very bold step the minister is trying to take. But just like Madam Ayana is saying, we should also look at the fact that there are a lot of rural schools that will not really benefit from it. And the time span that is going to be, they are going to be asked to do the placement is also too short. From my view, the 1 week is very short of a time, because even the news getting to those in the rural areas might take days. Some of them don't even have electricity, network, and all that. So I think it's a very good initiative, but the focus should be in the rural areas. And the time span should be increased as well. So this is a very key place that they should take a look at. It's good because the computerized system was having issues and all that. We really appreciate this step, but the focus should be in the rural areas and the time span of the operation, or when the students have to do their placement. And then also, I realized that last year, the way they did the system was every student should pick schools around the community. If you are going for a boarding school, you pick one that is outside your community, and the rest of the school should be in the. So that should also be looked at and enhanced. But then the time frame should be looked at. Greetings to Mugabe, who says he's watching me wherever he is.
Please, Haja Salifu.
It's Haja Rabi. Salifu is my father's name.
Okay.
So, yes, listening to the rationale, I know why she's one of my favorite communicators in the NDC. Because she sometimes makes a lot of sense to me. I'm not sure if Ghanaians do get so much sense from her, but to me, sometimes she makes a lot of sense. And then she's one of the communicators. I'm not actually praising her. I'm just speaking to what she said, that I guess I'm rational. Say the capacity of the child. Get your result. Look at which school that can get you into. Perfect. Unfortunately, I need to introduce however. The however here is that, I'm sure you are too curious to know, right? On the 25th of June, 2025, the education minister came to announce that government to recruit 50,000 teachers, 10,000 non-teaching staff in 2025. Fast forward 2026, on the 1st of April, same minister came just yesterday to tell us that the recruitment will now be for 7,000 teachers, as the finance minister has cleared. My point is simple. I would have gone with my sister's point. Brilliant. But I can't just be sure. I won't be sure. Because there's a government that comes to talk about 50,000. We saw what happened. We discussed it here. On recruitment, when they were doing the military, was it the fire service, the uniform men recruitment, quite recently.
It was the security services.
When they had to sell millions of forms just for us to be told that 5,000 or so were recruited or had gone through the system. My point is, this same government will start with a point, serious policy, winning election on it, and the next month they will come and say they are prioritizing. Did they not think about priority? Should we believe them again from 50,000 to 7,000 and now telling us you want to do this again? I am not confident.
You're not confident?
I'm not, my dear.
Are you done?
No, how can I be done? I'm still making my point. I'm not confident. And I will say that we all, in terms of equity, and my sister who has a law background would attest to the fact that Chapter 6 of our Constitution is talking about fairness, equity, justice, and all that. I pray
you have the chance to respond.
I pray that my sister, she was just adding, yeah, and that's exactly what I said. My sisters here have spoken about equity, which is good. Yes, the Constitution is even supporting that. If the person is a rural folk, it's about providing the leverage for the person to be able to match up to the one who is privileged. I hope they will listen to this as well. Because for me, you tell me A, come and deliver B. Tomorrow you say C, next tomorrow you do D, until they do it. This morning, the key inspirational statement I am taking home is that we should be patient, the government will do better. And I still remember how we were given reassurance upon reassurance until the end where we got some and couldn't get some. So I just hope that this one would not be a short change in their own words.
All right, let's speak to the Executive Director of IFEST, Dr. Peter Enti, who joins us live on the phone. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, Beatrice.
Let me get your preliminary thought, really, on this directive, as it were, from the Education Ministry that every BECE candidate will have to see their grade first before they select a school. What do you think about it as an education think tank?
Well, I think that right after last year's challenge that the school placements had, there were a lot of discussions and proposals put forward. I remember that one of the proposals that we made ourselves was the fact that we need to take a second look at the school selection model. The model where students select schools before they see their results. It's not something that is ideal, because once you select a school, you are emotionally and psychologically attached to that particular school. And that is why sometimes when they even don't do well and they know that they do not qualify to be in those schools, they still want to force their parents, or their parents still want to try all possible means to get them into that school because they are psychologically attached to that. So what we see the minister is trying to do is to try to solve that particular problem by not going by the previous processes that used to be in place. You know, previously there was still an opportunity for students to check the authenticity of the information that they have given after the results have been released. They were not able to edit it. This time the minister says that you will be able to edit it. There will be a 1-week period for you to now reflect on your performance, look at the school that you selected, and then edit it to suit the performance that you had after your BECE. And I think that is proactiveness, because I'm thinking that the minister doesn't want the situation whereby what happened last year happens this year again. It means that they are not solving anything. So that's proactiveness. That they will have to go beyond this to ensure that the system is foolproof and that it is fit for purpose.
All right, we'll have to end it here because, but hold on, before you go though, there's also the concern about the time frame given the students to do this. I mean, Hajia Menu, for instance, in rural areas think that the 1 week may not be enough for somebody who is in a rural area, may not have electricity or proper internet connection. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so the point is that you have selected the schools already and you have seen your results. You have 1 week. I don't think in Ghana it will take.
They are supposed to select after they've seen the results.
No, that is not what the minister says. The proposal is that the school selection process starts and it will not end after you have seen your results. It will end after you have edited your results. I mean your selection. So you go through the process like it used to be. Now you write the exams, and then after that you have a 1 week period to edit your result. I mean edit your selection, and that's based on the fact that you have now seen your results. You are now at a better position to now decide whether I will still go by that or I will change the schools. And so I'm saying that this system used to exist. What the issue was that the students were able to just confirm. They were not able to touch their initial choices. They were just confirming. But this time, the minister says you have 1 week to now not just confirm, but also edit your selection. And that is where the changes is. So you will do the process. You go through the process like you do normally, and then after the results, you have a 1 week period to now edit your selection or keep it as it is. That is, you do the confirmation. So I don't think it's going to be the problem will be education, you know, and then how they will communicate to this, because most parents would have to understand this process and keep time so that they will be able to now quickly go to the platform and then do whatever they are supposed to do after the results have been released. And I think that the ministry will have to do a lot of sensitization and communication around this.
All right, we'll have to end it here for the sake of time. Thank you very much, Dr. Peter Anti, Executive Secretary, IFEST. Thank you for sharing your perspectives with us on this. A number of you sending in so many messages. Olabode, Chairman Olabode Williams says, good morning, my good sister. Please tell Rabi of the MPP to stop the propaganda. Tell her to go back to what happened in their time. Some of us are still in Ghana and heard all the lies they peddled and how Rabi and her colleagues were woefully defending Dr. Baumia when he was messing up the economy. Today, Ghana is safe. Rabi should stop. Let sleeping dogs lie. The NDC government under President Mahama is managing the economy better than when her government was in power. Rabi should give us a break. Chairman Olabode Williams sending in his message. There's also one from Musa Abatwa in Aswanse. It says, good morning, Beatrice. Every reasonable person knows the current fuel hikes are due to global tensions involving the US and Iran and Israel, which have disrupted crude oil supply. Before this, fuel prices were stabilizing as a result of prudent economic management. There's a message from Stephen Penwa says, good morning, Beatrice. The 1 Ghana cedi fuel levy is for the payment of energy sector debt bequeathed to the NDC by the MPP. A removal of the levy means going back to Dumso, a mantra the MPP associated JDM with. No way, our lights must remain on. Stephen Pen from WA. Perhaps I can read this before I wrap up. Beatrice, please tell the MPP lady she only... okay, I'm not sure I can read the message as you've put it, but obviously doesn't agree with Hajia Rabi. And there's also a message, I believe, coming from Mr. Simon Yan. Says, Beatrice, kindly ask your panelists this question for me. Why can't Ghana be self-reliant in the fuel situation? Ghana produces crude oil, and we have the Tema Oil refinery that could process the crude oil for both domestic use and for export. So what exactly is the problem? I think recently we heard Tor telling us that they were working on improving capacity to be able to meet at least 50% or beyond of Ghana's fuel need. And yes, so thank you very much. I want to say a big thank you to you, Hajia Rabiatu Salifu, Deputy Director of Communications for the NPP. Thank you for joining us on the panel. Also to you, Madam Adjoa Japoma Anson, Deputy CEO, Ghana Digital Centres. Thank you. Of course, to you as well, Madam Ayana. Thank you very much for being with us as always. Madam Rodley Nimora Ayana is a public interest advocate, and of course, welcome back again, Madam Hajia Gloria Amenu, National Women's Organizer for the United Party. Thank you for being a part of the panel this morning. I want to say a big thank you as well to Celebrity Style Boutique within the Marina Mall on the Spintex Road for my costume this morning. Thank you very much. And remember that Big Issue is sponsored by the University of Gold Coast. Whether you're aiming for a specialist MBA in marketing, communication, operations, supply chain, human resource management, finance, entrepreneurship, innovation, or business intelligence analytics, or you just want to advance through a dual MBA or chartered manager MBA, University of Gold Coast gives you options that match your vision. And if your next step is an MSc in international relations, communication, international marketing, international law, security diplomacy, accounting, finance, or human resource management, an LLM in international law, security diplomacy, or an MA in biblical studies, practical theology, the pathway is open. April admission is now open. Apply today, because at the University of Gold Coast, we make it practical, flexible learning, flexible entry, and flexible payment. Study around your work and life. Choose a route that fits your background and pay in convenient installments. Your dream deserves structure. Yes, your future deserves strategy. Your purpose deserves training. Apply now. www.ugc.edu.gh. You can call or WhatsApp this number 026 388 8555. University of Gold Coast, building leaders for the nations. My name is Beatrice Edu. Thank you very much for joining us on The Big Issue.
Well, we're here to do sports in as always. Please make sure that alongside that, we just have less than 80 days to the World Cup. And you can get all the best updates from 3 Sports. And we have some great people leading the team. Not only distinguished, well experienced, but also a great man of news and sports, Michael Otieje, leading the team right here at 3 Sports. And we have to talk all things when it comes to the Black Stars, etc. And who best than to give us great updates? Billy Shen, Distinguished Swag Award winner. What's up?
I do.
Too much fans here.
Yeah, you didn't give the fans. Me to make I give you fans.
No, it's okay. So thank you. I
thought you have got it.
Yeah. you did my style.
Yeah.
But Black Stars always occupying our minds over the last 3 days.
Yeah.
And have we got a coach yet? What's the latest?
There's no coach yet. The president of the GFA, Keto Kreku, stated that a coach will be announced in a week or 2.
Mm-hmm.
This week is about to end, which will make it 1 week. So maybe I would reckon by next week we would know who the new coach would be. But apart from that, the Black Stars saw their ranking on the FIFA men's ranking decline to 74th. They were previously at 72nd. And that ranking is because of the back-to-back losses that they suffered during the international window, where they lost 5-1 against Austria in Vienna, and then 2-1 against Germany in Stuttgart.
Okay.
And with that ranking drop, this ranking would stand until the end of the FIFA World Cup.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. And this is very important going to the World Cup, is it not?
Yes, very, very important. That goes to show how people perceive your strength. And as you can see on the screen, Ghana are at least ranked among the group, and actually are the 4th least ranked team that has qualified for the World Cup. Currently, England are still 4th, Croatia are still 11th, Panama are still 33rd, and then Ghana, of course, 74th. And Ghana 74th is the 4th least rank among all the teams that have qualified for the World Cup at this stage.
How then, based on the 74th ranking in the world, do we fare when it comes to the African rankings or the African teams?
Yes, in the African rankings, Ghana are still 14th. They used to be 14th even before the updated ranking, and they are still 14th. And the 14th also means that Ghana are not at the top level, basically. Usually the top 12 are usually seeded in, the first spot when it comes to qualification and major tournaments and all of that. But Ghana are in probably the 2nd tier, if I should put it that way, in African football. And looking at Ghana's rankings before World Cups, 2006, Ghana were 48th before the World Cup started in 2006. 2010, they had boosted because of very good performances to 32nd. 2014, they had dipped a bit to 38th, but they had to wait 8 more years to qualify for the World Cup, and hence the ranking dropped significantly to 61st, and now the ranking has dropped even further to 74th. So since 2010, we've experienced a decline upon decline upon decline when it comes to the ranking.
So over the last, is it 20 years? Our golden years have been between 2010 and 2014.
Yes, basically.
Okay. Now, just a last question before you move on to the subsequent ones. What does it then mean, especially for the prospects of the players, for scout purposes, transitioning to bigger teams, etc.? Because the World Cup, as Michael Otieje would say, is a bigger showcase venue for players who want to move up the ladder to bigger teams and then better ends.
Yes, they would have to perform significantly well at the World Cup, because the World Cup will have very huge bearing on how the players are perceived, how even the teams will be ranked by the end of the tournament. If Ghana, I reckon, if they progress past the group stage, their ranking will significantly become better. But if they do not, then we could see another decline. And that would also mean that the players will be not so attractive to prospective clubs.
And we've been performing poorly because the concern from the footballing public, especially in Ghana, has been that our coach was bad, has been bad, etc. But Otuado is now off. So what does it mean then? Just less than 80 days to the World Cup. The prospect of the GFA getting a new coach.
Yes, Keto Kreku did state that a number of applications have come in, about 600 applications, and they are looking at those numbers and the perspectives to decide who would be the best fit. And Kato Kreku, in an exclusive with 3 Sports, stated what he expects from the next head coach of the Black Stars ahead of the 2026 World Cup.
There's a lot that we can speak about hiring of coaches for the A national team, and the issues that are discussed behind, or issues that affect hiring of coaches, etc., etc. But we want to move forward, and I think that the ESCO is well placed to bring in the next one, and hopefully this next one will be that one that will give everybody the confidence. Will be the person with a good record of having managed at the club level and hopefully at the national team level. Will be somebody who has won trophies, and generally will be somebody who will bring confidence into that changing room. The players who look up to that person and say that, look, this guy has done it before and he knows what he's talking about.
Keto Kreku, the president of the Ghana Football Association, trying to give the footballing public, and also not only in Ghana but across the world, that the Black Stars would need the best of the confidence going into the World Cup. We'll see how that goes, because to get the crop of players also mean that you need to do well locally, produce the right sort of players as well. But let's transition back to the GPL. And we know that Hawkway United, they've officially confirmed their withdrawal from the GPL. Is that the case?
Yes. They dropped a communique yesterday. People thought it was April Fool, but it was actually a very serious communique. They did that after a board meeting, and they have already sent a letter officially to the GFA confirming that they are withdrawing from the Ghana Premier League. And the case they are making is that they feel decisions have not been fair to them. They also feel that the punishment that they recently received, where they have a 3-match home ban, would largely affect their chances of staying in the league. At the moment, they are battling for survival. They are part of the teams around the relegation zone. And so they feel that the last 7 games or so, prospectively, only one would actually happen on their home ground because of the 3-match home ban. And they feel it's unfair to them in that sense, and it will leave them in a position where they might not be able to properly fight for survival, and hence they've decided to withdraw from the Ghana Premier League. And this is a big blow, because I believe last season we saw a similar thing with Nswatreman FC as well. They also withdrew from the Ghana Premier League. It was all after the fracas involving the death of Nana Poli. And yeah, so this one is a totally different case, but it doesn't give a good look to the Ghana Premier League.
We'll see how that goes. So we'll be following this, won't we?
Yes.
And then 3 Sports will give our viewers the latest update as well. But look, let's try to wrap up with maybe basketball news. What was the latest from the NBA?
Yeah, Victor Wembanyama, who is a former #1 pick in the NBA draft, he scored 41 points to help San Antonio Spurs to win 10 in a row. This time they defeated the Golden State Warriors. Victor is one of the main candidates for most valuable player in the NBA this season, alongside Oklahoma City Thunder Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and then Los Angeles Lakers guard, that is Luka Doncic. The 3 of them have all been fantastic this season. But Wembanyama especially has been really, really superb for someone who is relatively still young, about just 22 years of age. He's dominating the league. His height helps, but he's shown so much skill that he provides a lot of problems for many opposition as well. So he's leading the Spurs quite well. They are 2nd seed with regards to the Western Conference, just behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. And so they are definitely one of the favorites to go all the way to win the NBA championship.
Wow. How competitive is this time when it comes to the conference?
Yeah, the West is always competitive. The Western Conference involves the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are current champions of the NBA, who have the current MVP in Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, performing really well. The San Antonio Spurs themselves are there. There's also the Los Angeles Lakers with Luka Doncic also there. The Houston Rockets are also performing quite well with Kevin Durant also in there as well. The Clippers too come in once in a while with their stars. I think the Western Conference is usually really packed in the NBA.
I see. Great one. Yes, it is. Okay. Let me say good morning to you. Following us greatly, what were our discussion so far, and then also the news tidbits when it comes to the world of sports. Ken Krakeni, good morning to you, who's watching us from Tema as well, says that he's hopeful that the Black Stars will do well, but it's one of the most negative times prior to a World Cup that we've ever had.
Indeed.
We got 2006, prior to that buoyant mood, 2010, buoyant mood as well, and then 2014 as well, apart from 18 when we didn't do well. But
true. It's a very tough time. We've not gone to a World Cup with a point where we are looking for an interim before. So it's a really weird position to be in. Hopefully the right appointment is made, because the GFA has made a number of misses when it comes to appointments since 2019. And hopefully we can get the right coach to lead the Black Stars to do well in the World Cup.
All the best. So we can always get the latest sports tidbits.
Yes, on social media at 3sports.gh, and also on the website at www.3news.com/sports. We have a Sports Daily coming up at 10 a.m. with a lot more updates on Otuado, on the World Cup, on the potential next coach, and also on Hohoe United withdrawing from the Ghana Premier League.
Well, certainly. That'll be it for sports now, but also for all those who tend to watch us, a great sister of mine in Akachi, Paulina Badagbo, you're celebrating your birthday. And Paulina, myself, Ifwa, as well as Auntie Felicia and everybody else, we love you so much. Happy birthday to you, Paulina Badagbo. Wishing you all the best for the day as well. I'll try and put your picture when we're having birthdays at the time when we have the time. But we also will have to take you to some lorry stations where we have commuters grappling with the news that we're going to have fares being increased by the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, as well as other coordinating agencies when it comes to transport unions as well. And we're going to have Grace in there. But before then, let's also tell you that there's a beachcation this Easter holiday period for all those who will be visiting their towns, etc. This for you. Create unforgettable memories at the beach with your family and friends. And so Maha Beach Resort is always available for you, promising you all inclusive 3-night package from the 3rd to the 6th of April 2026, and it's starting from the figures 5,100 Ghana cedis if you're a couple. Early bird discounts available. So this is what you need to do. You have to start your bookings. So you start your bookings early on. If you haven't done that, do that now. You have to get a 10% extra discount when you do that, because the package is offering guests free access to their all in-house facilities, and they include swimming pool, gyms, cinemas, popcorn, snooker games, board games as well. You also get to enjoy free airport pickups when you arrive in Takoradi, and then also all the terms and conditions would apply. They have fun activities, in-house live band, in-house carnival, splash paint, etc. And you know, as part of this, they have these jet skis, quid bike rides, and then also sip and paint activities. And you can also have a party in the park, and then also they promise to take you on trips to Nzulezu, the Nkrumah Memorial House in Nkrofo. And this is what you need to. You need to call Maha Beach Resorts now on the line 030-3977-773. You can also get them on mobile 050-1570-684. Get the latest price discounts for them. Book them now for this Easter. Get onto their site, social media. Get the latest update from Maha Beach Resort. When we're ready, we'll take you to that lorry station, one of those terminals where we'll get to speak to commuters or pedestrians, what they make of the intention of the GPRTU and their members and commercial transport drivers generally to increase fares, its impact on them as well. And when we're ready, we'll do that now. And but as many times as you can. Also make sure that you make 2026 your year of travel, where you also get to explore and experience more. And that's going to be with Global Wings Travel Tours, all in partnership with Media General, inviting you to experience the best of Malaysia and Singapore this April. So you get to enjoy 9 unforgettable days with return flights and inclusive stays in luxury hotels in Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, daily meals. Remember, they also include, as part of their package, visa facilitation, city tours, gentle highlands with great scenery, with cable rides, inter-country transfers when you visit, alongside many much more experiences. So they're asking you why you have to wait, because April is now here. So you have to book this April 2026 Malaysia and Singapore trip and make it a reality. And so call them now on the number 0550 188 181. And you have to do that today. All right, let's take you to that Lorry station. And when we're ready, we'll take you there. Let's play a spot of music or go for a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Yes, you. Easter is here and something sweet is waiting for you. Imagine waking up to 30,000 Ghana cedis. Just like that, TV3 Cash Out is making it possible. All you have to do, dial *439# now. Choose option 8 MG Jackpot. Only 10 Ghana cedis per ticket. The more you play, the closer you get to your breakthrough. This Easter, no stories, no excuses, just winning. Take your chance and thank me later. TV3 Cash Out, powered by Radio Entertainment, approved by NLA on the Caritas platform.
Is Hamwa Asari Ajaman there, and it will be quite an experience, won't you say, BC?
Yes. I mean, when there's a threat to increase transport fares and you know that's your only means of moving around, it becomes a bit difficult pill to swallow, but at a point, sometimes there are no options.
Yeah,
yes.
I know a couple of people who will be using public transport to their destination this Easter. Let's see how they also react to the impending announcement of new transport fares by the GPRTU. And Grace will take us there.
Right, so we are here at the Circle New Plant Station, one of the biggest and busiest lorry terminals in the capital city, or let me say even in the country. You have drivers here moving from Accra to various parts of the country, the Ashanti region, the Eastern region, the Central region. Any of the 16 regions, you can find a vehicle that moves from this place to any of that regions. This tells you the importance of this lorry terminal and the number of people who come here every day to look for vehicles to their various destinations. The conversation this morning is about the recent increases in fuel prices. We know that the prices of fuel has been very stable. In fact, went down some few weeks, but just the beginning of April, this pricing window, it has gone up. Let's speak to some of the drivers on how they receive this and whether they are even preparing to increase transport fares anytime something of the sort happens. So, Pacho, you're live on TV3. We know that you're a driver in this lorry terminal. Talk to us. The increment in fuel prices, how are you receiving it?
Yeah, Pacho Yatum. It's a full in fact, yeah, Brepa. Obaya Juma Pon, who is carrying a bit of fuel. Cafes, Nikefria Kokumase, Kautimito fuel, 30 liters, Utimito 25 liters, 80 minutes Kokumase. But he said, even 40 liters, Kautimim from Kokumase. Ultimatum from 4 and from Kokumasi. Over Congo crab, ice water 35 liters. They say you money pan, in fact, you money.
Fuel on answer your call for my and drop in a bathroom.
But your uncle from and you're not a bathroom. That be fuel no 50 last 2 weeks na baby Jano still a one and that's yesterday. And that's with Jana. On there, I never can say, you move your fuel, you told you come. To say me say me shell na me yede meto e say shell and then I think it's a 15 plus and I'm got to fuel meto 45 liters and then I'm almost 5 something. 500 cities, yeah, 5 something because meto and I think it's 15 points that meto and then I'm 5 something and you're fine obey you map on go call you load 100 cities near mine it imagine say what to fuel 40 liters I would call upon unya hwe and two bottom. Dear Pacho, Abano be found mine.
And I know Sanamo Betulor FM one.
Say, dear, see, I bet to the film was to the film, no, they mean to me and can once because me impeding for me. Me said I named him there, but some come to my can be Japan because, yeah, bread. Ubaya Juma Pona is getting out of fuel. Unya one silk day and found to honor. Maybe to me guess, baby. Me guess, baby. I'm
and yeah, who now the Fadia shall girls.
I know the mum, but I Jobia, ya odidi hu na also unya so hu wanya sori nkwa de ochopon ni obi botom semika semiga enye sem mpramfo
Wait, Johnny, so let's speak to this man also. Pacho, have you heard about the fuel price increment when you went to the fuel pumps? Did you experience the same thing?
And fuel price, you know, omuba betum ni anti nkambia, but I think that was Tuesday, and who said fuel price on our cost Roma tomato once. And Barnes and a Hauka Kraba. By any answer, him say every US front of Huna or Muyano, and Emma, Eba, and in our bassa. And secondly, so, and I say, you have to lorry fair him, but you're paying for no so any young cash, and you to me for your pet and fun too. By a train and penny for back canoe, and now you're better so at the year Juma.
Now, see, I take your fuel prices, so you anticipate more to lorry first.
Maybe at Tisoda. Fuel price in this, I'd say a buff from no, Obeka Titiso. Yeah, that was last year. Says that about price no started by last year. And yet full price no so once. And since then na after na ye should say be a baby and I say baby. And a spare part no so na cost almost instead of say almost man almost after no almost two. O corners o koto ebia o koto voxy hu niama obekọ no excavator nema na ate so yen tumi koto excavator nema for embe fix voxy and almost o mate so obekọ no na excavator nema no mate so.
And it means that yet if you on so crowd mu on nema for mo chance amo dey Lorry fair nim
ni na na yakabum ni na na yakabum e dey teso and I say e dey tum there be say bakubo form a ye hwe dodo na abo form no e na e dey teso na ya san hwe dodo na akosoro no na e dey atum by say o hwe for listen akosoro na automatically say etum
and na wuto obi no amo dem out saying
and then me nyan koto da but me to endra Wednesday and me furu Kumasi back ra na me car tank no the half na gauge need a half but could you believe say me to 525 cedis and sign yama at the half tank that imagine say at the low tank. Let's imagine how I do metal.
First, how better say answer when you're full.
Oh, first, me say at the half tank and you say matter be 300 cedis. Nah, yama. But I say half tank, by me to 525 cedis. I will go oil. I will go to match oil with be me to so I will just so. Aha. Oh.
You've been hearing some of these drivers. They tell me that, yes, they know fuel prices have increased. They are also looking forward to communication from the leadership of their unions on whether they should increase prices of transport fares or not. Pacha, also, who your driver? What's your petrol? Mutobi Yadima saying, Ojin is saying.
Pacha, Mitobi, me Frehano Eko Kumasi, me na Mitobi no, me Kotono and Koko, me to 6 million and shooty. Enti fu ene de slab ban say on hye so na on te so ma kakra na ya enso mrantie a ye wa ye adwuma no yetimi nkobọ kro no enso kakra e benya ne ye yire ne ya na ase ne ye ma amemu nso bedidi no on te so ne spare parts no even black band am koto me turn 3.5 me turn 3.5 plus do be ya giska eno ma ne board intimi nto kra fu ene boy den you see me fu ene the half tank. Some kind of say, this is almost 400 cities, and so I didn't make Kumasi. Into Australia, by say, on Shasuno, on Domi and Boy, Strena.
So we have another driver also here. We'll get some of the passengers to also ask from them how they are also feeling about this. Pasha, also your driver.
Pasha, my driver, me Ojinga from DSP Sapon. Mommy, to be honest, your bread within the short time, your bread, me Sukran can meet me soon. First, me conquer Koram 2 for 4.5. 400. You see, I'm 2 for 700 grana. Me 2 for 700 grana. And yama. Obekoba Bansuna was seeking I say, I come scan 15 cities, 25 cities. Any Skaka bottom and a same bottom. Me who they are many. Sabin Gabi sister in Goson Commotion and Commotion. I'm increasing price at Grand and penny for say. Nadia, a bayan on my friend. And it's
Mudamu Pessi and to Mam.
Yeah, to my uncle because. Say I buy we buy no. O man don't afford no man na here. Ekwa from so kwa boso kan no ma bi anko from. You say break bands first na turn by 100 cities. You say 200 cities. Any mo di anko a. E kire di buy. Ansa na de obe fixing so here. Esan so kwa ho. Ana ekwan fa so kwa nko no so nje. Omo say on be expressway 777 me to me in the expressway no. E hu hia sei. Enyina bypass, osi no bypass, konongo bypass, ni bypass na no so mo hwe no mo complete. Ni nyina machine so, ni nyina ya ba adwuma Ghana scan ya de That's who be jar to one of our dia. Sabi, I'm say, M1 any driver. Go driver say, bro, it's a uncle baby. Me can't say me tire pipe, can't say me tie because my to me boss, and me fault. A quine in there. Obekobano, I saw co workshop. What can him gigi and you be an aqua, Obebo Kawana man. It's a express as over. Who told me 1 ton grab it on 1,000. And some of us answer fix it.
Mokanyama when you na boom, and someone with some better 2 lorry friend in one as a moon.
No more when you are classes, and I see a fool and it through no cry, and I real more. Everyone's a mental in body account afford to me support. Fool the account to me support. If you are going 80 cities, we below the amount 1,000, but to 400, we say 600, Madam Scanasa, me make a man yashi.
And I'm a trip no so a day to me crossing.
They want to me go to because any Enyinem we take almost 2 hours from Lenda door to Enyinem we take 2 hours. We found one police show. We go on a police show. Andra VIP bus back right to in you see. Because of pressure, some pressure now na my way in a but say I pressure no so. I pressure no so. Traders say high Burkina, especially Burkina Faso no. They be where my minister na menka we. They be road safety for Baha e be educate yen. They can how chira omo as you hu result bia. Burkina ka udi na chi o hu miro o hu na chi. Enyo man Jesus say we say we have no be kan ahwe room. Dey ntina say bas. I dey tie kuro mo. Na wo for mo hire drivers. How we kwan so. You try road work, you try insurance, you try visa and so nya hoto we kwan so.
So you've been hearing some of these drivers, they say that they just don't only consider an increment or a reduction in fuel prices. They look at spare parts, they look at other issues, they consider some other factors before leadership can decide whether they should increase transport fares or not. But for them, because of the recent increments or the announcements of the recent increments in fuel prices, they are calling on leadership, GPRTU, the Ghana Road Transport Coordination Union, all the other groups to also announce an increment in transport fares so that they don't run at a loss or so that they are not shortchanged. Let me engage some of the passengers on what they think about this. Pacho, me say utekemwa utukwan. Yebabetu yatu petrol mu. How do you feel? Say yebetu lorry femwa. How do you feel?
Oh, it's not a good feeling, but I'm sure the government has a good reason for doing that. We all know what's going on around the world. So I really hope the government would put a good measures in place. As with the passengers, personally, I'm willing to compromise with the government, but he shouldn't disappoint us going further forward. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so you see, in the first place is the war that is now ongoing, the US and the Iran war that has brought this increment. So it's not something that was planned. So we all need to engage and, comport ourselves. We know that they would maybe definitely increase it, but then it shouldn't be as high as maybe it will bring some economic distress to people.
So it is a two-sided conversation, whereas drivers are vehemently calling for an increment in transport fares so they can make some profit. Passengers are also saying that, well, they know it's not a planned incident, but they just wish that any increment will not be too much so that they can also bear it. So we're coming to you live from the Sakumono plant station. The conversation has been about transport fares and all of that. Another passenger is here. Pacha also, me also what's na in koko kemu yati betu yatu lorry femu seseya ujini saying ebe how na as a passenger.
My Ghana in India. I don't have anything to say, so I will just accept it. Yeah, that's it. I know the driver for the normal organization, yeah, it's my money. The other day I'm a froka ko baby. No matter what, never affected, but all the same, you're good to go.
All right, so it is, like I said, a two-sided conversation. One part wants an increment. The other part says that even if there's going to be an increment, it shouldn't be so much on the high so that passengers can also heave a sigh of relief. So we've been coming to you live from the Sakumono plant station. We've been talking about the increment in fuel prices and how that is going to impact both drivers as well as passengers. Pacha, all your passenger, I'll be our station. All right, yes, two fuel prices. My drivers, they say, I'm going to say, two lorry fare. Pacha, I don't know what you're saying.
Okay, send a fuel plus. I see a cost on there. Media, sir, abandon baby Biafra Hoa, and call young Cabeboy. Because it says, can you mind Bibia in ye? Bibian ye bibia enkosi nti mesraba no say fuel plus no enka wonte so because otum nkwan dey driver for so dey kwan bia so omo betum nti mesre no say waka dey na onye bibi mfa ho emfa maye because ye bre Ghana sika ni ye man mu say koko bu okura ye nto koko ye nto
o ye koko farmer
me wo say bie wanti na mkoko wo me ba wo you say legon and am betia no me de ne ma kakra bre no for you say Easter wo this is koko yento wo yento koko masesa bistuo full bag esifie sisi a kapre me by me ko bosia bus for ho na me cost rom no mam bosia bus stop I say Roman for bank no bus stop omo na mkwaje bosia fi om ho nti aba no ye sere no omo aye na ye ni ho a oni ho ye na ye man ya ban nti ye sere no omo aye na onhwe Ghana otete ne maso maye.
So from cocoa farmers to normal passengers and other travelers, the call is that they want government to quickly intervene so that these driver unions do not announce any increment in transport fares. Whilst the drivers want an increment, passengers say there shouldn't be an increment. Well, it is early days, yes. GPRTU says they are meeting today or maybe subsequently in the week, and they will decide whether to announce an increment or not. Drivers also want government to pay attention to the construction on the roads so that if the roads are fixed, they will not have to buy a lot of spare parts and all of that. We'll definitely come back to you with a lot more here at the Sakumono plant station. Grace Hamwa Ajiman, Philip Kachiku as my cameraman. Back to you in the studio.
Well, very instructive. Mixed reactions there, and it also means that once the prices of petroleum products are going up, it will have corresponding effects on transport fares, and then also, you know, people's purchasing power, etc., would be affected. Yeah, mixed reactions.
But did I hear the other driver say that he was buying a liter for 15 cedis? Where?
No, I don't know. I kept wondering, but 15 cedis, I'm sure he was approximating the 14 point something to 15 years. So.
Yeah, but it's not even up to 14.
Yeah, it depends
on... It's 13 points.
Yeah, it depends on what you're buying, actually.
Anyway.
Some are 14, some are 15.
Anyway, yeah,
13.
so... But the one who said he has a lot of girls, I was...
Yeah. So, you know, sometimes people's conversations are, and then some too are laced with some political undertones and all that. So we'll see how that goes. But
yeah, anyway, if you're planning your next trip, whether it's for holidays, business, study abroad, or family travel, let EAS Tours take the stress out of your journey. They offer professional flight bookings, travel consultations, visa assistance, and personalized travel support to ensure everything is handled smoothly from start to finish. So travel with confidence, clarity, and peace of mind by choosing EAS Tours. Call or WhatsApp now 0243 535 778 today to speak to a travel expert, get expert guidance, and start planning your next trip the EAS way. Now, with EAS Tours, you can travel now and pay later in 12 months. No initial deposit, no interest, and it is the EAS Tours to the whole Wiase. So, yes, I think we want to celebrate those who are celebrating their birthdays, right?
And today we have some great people who are celebrating their birthdays, and Mago. That's Margaret Ansai, who is with the Ghana agency. Also, you're celebrating your birthday. Aisha Yakubu is also celebrating her birthday.
Aisha! That's how I call it.
Yeah, so... And
yeah, happy birthday to you, Aisha.
Matthew Bacchus Wilson used to work here. Matthew Bacchus Wilson, happy birthday to you as well. Alhaji Nuruddin of Engineers and Planners, great morning to you as well, great guy. And do we have more to tell our viewers on health and vitality?
Yes, but before that though, okay, let me just do that. And Vitality Health Insurance is inviting all corporate institutions, associations and groups to be part of our medical plans, cut down medical expenses and enjoy good and quality health care at a family near you. For more information, you can visit us on www.vitalitymh.com or call us on 026 6573 200. And belated happy birthday to you, Ya Benis from Bichim. May your new age be filled with endless joy, good health, and beautiful surprises. Even though the day has passed, the celebration of your amazing life continues. You're truly special, and I hope this year brings you closer to all your dreams and fills your heart with happiness every single day. This is from Mensa Majid. Happy birthday to you, Madam Benis from Bichim. Well, are you ready to scratch, win, and live your dreams? Review Scratch for Win is here to change your life. Just dial *850*3# to stand the chance to win up to 1 million Ghana cedis in cash prizes instantly. It's easy, it's exciting, and it's regulated by the National Lottery Authority. So just dial *850*3# or visit www.scratchforwin.com to play now. It's easy to play. Let me show you how. 1. Simply dial *850*3# on all networks. 2. You select your preferred stake amount. That's between 5 Ghana cedis and 2,000 Ghana cedis. And 3. You choose your lucky card out of 5 exciting options. And then 4. You confirm your selection and enter your Momo pin. And 5. You receive your game results and winnings instantly. It's easy, it's fun, and it's exciting. Get ready to scratch, win, and live your best life with Review Scratch for Win. Up to 1 million Ghana cedis up for grabs today. Dial *850*3#, and that is the short code to play on all networks, or visit www.scratchforwin.com to play now. Review Scratch for Win. Scratchy keke. Nedi sika seipem. Review is strictly for persons 18 years and above. Review Scratch for Win is powered by Super Cash Games. So is it your birthday? Let's help you celebrate your birthday today. Blessing bliss. God bless you from your family and friends. You like the photo shoot, Roland?
You caught me off guard.
Mary Bote of Clocksack National Secretariat, from family, friends, and all stars of Clocksack staff nationwide. Happy birthday to you, ma'am. Rosemary Aye, wishing you the happiest day ever, full of fun and joy. You like the photo shoot? The way you Augusta Safo of Morning Star Preparatory School, like Zim. God bless you, my dear, from your mom. Beautiful young lady. Lance Corporal Amua Mark, wishing you a fantastic birthday. Yeah. Do you see the security glasses?
Yeah.
Naki Jilly, may this wonderful day bring you loads of fun. Happy birthday, Naki. Emmanuel Otre Mensa from Media General.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Charlie Emmanuel.
We call him Kobe, actually.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, I didn't know he was Emmanuel. I call him Kobe.
Kobe.
Yes.
Kobe.
Happy birthday.
Otre Mensa.
Yes.
Great guy. Very affable. Very affable.
Yeah. Sofomami Eunice Mensa of Word Congregation Ministry, BBNE, from your husband, Apostle Israel Mensa. Wow.
Right. Priscilla, did you do my own? If you don't do it, I will kill you today. Oh.
Prophet Prince Kofi Edichum, keep shining and walking in purpose, Prophet. Reagan, God bless you, officer from your friends. Officer 1.
Ghana Immigration Service, yeah.
Counting my blessings as you celebrate another year today. I love you, Alfreda, from Mr. Martin Luther King. That's how I call him.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Right here.
Yes,
at Media
with the
General.
transport department.
Matthew.
Yes.
Great. Luther.
Yes.
Luther. Mariecha Kudoda from Edward, wishing you a happy birthday. You'll celebrate your birthday as well, Martha Kudoda, from your husband, Eddie. It's not the same person. Happy birthday to you, Edward, from Edward. And then, I hope it's not my picture that's missing. Peace Asari, happy birthday to you from Mavis. Isedu Date, wishing you all the best. And then also Cosmos Asari, God bless your new age. You'll celebrate your birthday as well, Little Mimi. God's wisdom and knowledge is your portion. Happy birthday to you, Little Mimi. Mary Amina, may God bless your new age. Mrs. Diana Dakwan Boateng, your head of protocol at the Ministry of Sports and Recreation. I think I met this lady this week, Mrs. Diana Dakwan Boateng. Happy birthday to you, Lady Diana.
At the sports ministry,
yes,
that's where you met her?
Yes.
You were part of the GFA
no.
who planned the
I went there
of
to do an activity. Hey, mischief. Mary Adoma Akwete, happy birthday. Have a wonderful day as well. And then you're celebrating your birthday, Emmanuel Ofori from Priscilla. Happy birthday. Is it Priscilla who is doing their birthdays? La ilaha. Emmanuel Ofori, Priscilla says happy birthday to you. Madam Eltiapeu, lawyer Eltiapeu, currently with the Ghana Revenue Authority. Great ladies from Justice. I know this lady, great sister. Wish you all the best, lawyer Eltiapeu. Alhaji Ali Kali, and it's from Idi Amin. Wishing you all the best, Alhaji. All the best to you. Allah bless you. And then also Ashidede Ohima Esong from your dad, your mom, and Bernardino Garcia Jr. I love this. Apostle Daniel Jijo Ayukunu from Fortress of Grace Assembly Global. God bless you, man of God. Fiona Aseye Quiz of First Step International School from Tracy and Carl, Corporate Communications Department of Media General. Little Fiona, have a great one. Gladys Akpene Amedume, greatness awaits you. Happy birthday, beauty. And then also Paulina Badagbo of Akachi, from myself, from Ifua, as well as Felicia and everybody else. They love you so much. God bless you.
From all of us.
And this, Charlie, I'm climaxing.
The best
Paulina,
wine reserved for the last, right?
I'll come and drink Control with
Which one
from
is
your
that?
place. It's a whiskey. I think it's usually bought
What's
from.
the alcohol percentage?
I don't know. Took a while. I got into trouble, so I stayed off. And that'll be for our morning content, right?
Yes.
But we have great content coming up, including the latest in sports. That'll be in the next hour. And then also at 12, we bring you our midday edition of the news as well. And then subsequently, we have great programming as well. You'll be on radio today?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Great working lady. We're taking a morning break for now.